but what my trans GP does, it's pretty much allows you to comment and rate in different areas. Is this GP currently accepting new patients? Then there's also things like, are they just rude? It's pretty much like TripAdvisor or Trustpilot for the trans medical experience in the UK.
Hello everybody and welcome to I Accidentally Made a Podcast. We're joined by Lucy.
For the very first time.
Yeah, for the very first time. It's
oh my god.
It totally wasn't a total delay because of technical difficulties, but we are back. And
not at all.
Yeah. So wait, I think I have to make you a little bit louder. Give me a second. Alrighty.
Okay, no worries.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I will introduce myself. Hello, I am Lucifer. I am the internet's most annoying puppy girl. I used to be a professional musician. Then I became a streamer, and now I spend a lot of my time streaming stuff and doing putting together charity stuff for trans organizations and helping out with local trans charities and just in general trying to help the UK based trans community for the most part, and then the wider world's trans community as much as I can. And in general, other than that, I spend time trying to educate people online by making content trying to debunk transphobic sort of rhetoric and taking nasty comments that I get and trying to answer them in an educational kind of way. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
So we kind of wanted to talk about UK trans stuff, but I also think that because Lucy had a way different journey of being trans, because you had a very active and public life before transitioning, and for me it was I was more into gaming and isolating myself, being on my own, and I didn't really have that much of a life, I would say. Right now I'm mainly, to be fair,
you didn't have a life.
I still don't have
I still don't have a life.
I still don't have a life, but I have it's better than just existing and being on autopilot and not actually doing anything with the time that I have.
Yeah, so pretty much my upbringing was a bit weird. I was a nerdy kind of average kind of nerdy unpopular kid at school. I was bullied. I didn't have many friends. I guess a relatively common experience for a lot of queer people that I know. Had a similar sort of thing.
It's almost like if you have to constantly hide and you're not actually yourself, you're not that appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah. So I think it it made me struggle. But then what happened was I was generally into music quite a lot as a kid. I first started learning violin, then guitar, and started, I idolized people like Gerard Way and the emo sort of scene in general. And so when I was 16, we got together with a thing called Rock School, where it put a load of budding musicians together into bands, and formed the band which would then be known as The Dead Lay Waiting. And pretty much The Dead Lay Waiting went on to, at the age of, I think it was either 16 or just turned 17. I was definitely under 18. We got signed to a label. And suddenly my life went from this anonymous, no friends or anything like that, to suddenly being on TV, being in magazines. We were I don't know if people remember Kerrang TV. We were nominated for a Kerrang award. We were the top 8 most played video on Scuzz TV and stuff like that. It was wild. It was a wild time. It was pretty much just a whirlwind sort of thing. So I was taken from obscurity to this world stage where everybody kind of knew me at the time. And it was a weird experience as somebody who went from having no friends to then suddenly being very popular because people wanted to be in proximity to that fame. So I started to kind of associate popularity, well, my self-worth with popularity. So if I was popular, if I was in magazines that was being talked about, then I was worth something. If I wasn't, then I had nothing to give. And that was obviously an unhealthy mindset, but it was the product of being young and being pushed into the limelight at a very young age. And being, somebody who hadn't, the only other thing I had to compare it to is before I had a miserable life where I was bullied all the time and had no friends. Now I've got all of these agency people saying like, we're the next big thing. You're brilliant. I've got all these people. And the reality of it is majority of these agency people, the only thing they care about was exploiting us. We were very young, budding musicians, and they could see that we could earn them a decent chunk of money. So they just they would butter us up and, and do everything. And it was a wild one because I was doing like, a very young age. I was doing like photo shoots where they were just like, oh yeah, take your top off and stuff like that. In hindsight, I was just like, that's very problematic. Like I was definitely like 17 doing a photo shoot for our album. Yeah.
Oh no.
And they were like, oh yeah, take just do a thing with and I was like, like thinking back, I was like, that was not okay. That was a crime. But yeah, it was, the industry was extremely exploitive really in that thing when you were that young, and we were kind of pushed into, obviously we had this contract that was like, we were given this contract, and we were like 16, 17 at the time. And obviously when you were that young, all you think about is record label equal famous, equal success, equal everything else, right? You don't think or know about the reality of it, which is that you're signing what's essentially a loan agreement with an unregulated non-bank, like pretty much you're signing a company to give you money that you're going to have to pay it back, but they're not regulated like a bank is or anything like that, and they will exploit you. And
that's crazy.
And it's fucking wild. It's absolutely wild. It's like so that pretty much happened. We were locked in for 5 albums as well. We were so we pretty much had this whole thing of where every single day we were practicing, like every single day, wake up, we'd have to be practicing. We had to be writing. We were in the studio. We were on the road. Whatever happened, every single day, it was a full-time job. We were doing all of this stuff, and I think, keep in mind, this project ran for like 10 years, and we were nominated for an award and all this stuff I said, right? This is the wildest thing about it. In the entire 10 years, I personally earned £30. £30 in 10 years of being on TV, being nominated for awards, being like, because what happens is, right, you earn a little bit of money. You start off, right? You earn like 50 quid for your first show. Cool. Great stuff.
What?
You invest that and you get a couple of t-shirts. That costs you what? More than 50 quid. That costs you 100. Now at this point you're minus 50 quid. Then you get to the point where you're earning a couple of 100 quid, and then suddenly you're like, okay, well now we need to rent a van or something like that to get around. We're doing all these shows. So now you're in debt because you don't have enough to rent this van or rent a driver or whatever. And then suddenly when you're earning thousands per show, it's okay, I have a radio plugger, I have a PR agent, I have a label that takes a cut. So the only people who were willing to do this for the love of doing it was the artists, right? And like we were the only ones who would be doing it unpaid, essentially, just because we wanted to be there. And everybody else would be taking all of the slices of the pie. Yeah, you don't have to pay minus. Yeah, I mean, I obviously, you know, like for a lot of it, we were adults, but it was wild. Like, and it was something that we could have only done at the age where, thankfully, our parents were there to support us financially. You know, like we were living with parents still at that time. We were teenagers and then young 20s.
I feel like with like these agencies, it's just like, yeah, get them young, push it as hard as possible, and then let them like burn out after like a year, and then you have like the next group that you like push and like focus on. And it's so fucked up because like if you're young, you're kind of like craving this validation, especially if you're an outcast and you're kind of alone. Like, I know what it's like to have to feel useful in order to have friends, like to be good at something where people come to you to talk about it, you know, like if they need help with something, you are there, sort of thing. And
exactly.
I'm low. Do you have to make me louder? I haven't been able to yap, so that's why. Well, Lucy doesn't let me speak. You gotta, but yeah. And like I get like having to feel like you need to be popular, like extraordinary at like something that you feel like you're deserving of affection and friendships and so on. Like as a VTuber, I also had like situations where people just ditched me because I didn't grow enough or I didn't have enough viewers, and they jumped to a different friend group and so on. So I know how shitty it feels to have like this sense of like, oh, if you're not doing good enough when it comes to analytics, people will distance themselves from you. People will forget about you because you're not fulfilling a purpose.
Yeah.
Am I still quiet?
It might be on my end. Give me just 2 seconds. Let me just make you louder. 2 seconds. Say stuff.
Hello.
Hello.
Carrots and potatoes. Carrots and potatoes. Potatoes and carrots. 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 Potatoes and carrots.
Did you guys hear about potatoes and carrots?
Potatoes and carrots.
There we go. Cool. That's a lot better. Slightly too loud now. Okay.
Potatoes and carrots.
There we go. Bit too much. There we go. Cool. There we are.
No. Yeah, I was just saying, like, I get the feeling of like having to fulfill a purpose in order to like, you know, be extraordinary at something, so people ask for help when it comes to these things, or you know, wanting to be like popular, so people want to surround themselves in order to get something out of it. Like I get this. I had this my entire life, and with VTubing, with streaming, I've been there too. And I feel like if I didn't have the viewers, like, you know, you're kind of like alone. But I've made friends back in the day when I was starting out with streaming that I'm still friends with, and we meet up, we go to TwitchCon and so on, and it's a lot of fun. It's nice to have like an actual like friend circle whose friendship to you isn't dependent on what they can get out of it.
Absolutely, and that I think is a real important point to note on there. Is I think for a long time from my side I didn't have anything but that, or at least I didn't appreciate it, maybe. Because obviously I had a couple of friends before, right? And they were kind of like me, you know, they were nerdy, probably queer kids. And they would kind of just they weren't popular either. And I think, I think naturally when you get thrust into this kind of life style at that young age, is you're not mature enough to really deal with it, I guess.
Yeah.
And you do often, like, I think probably for some point I had to really craft this like alter personality for myself, because obviously the reality was I was this nerdy, shy, awkward kid, right? And that's the person that my friends before any of this happened had become friends with, the real variant of me. But that awkward person wouldn't sell, that's not really marketable, especially not back in like the early 2010s and before.
It's a performance that you have to like put up to make yourself more appealing to like a broader audience.
Absolutely. And like it's one of those things where it's like like when you walk on a stage, nobody wants somebody to go on stage and be like, hi, I'm Lucy, how you doing? Nobody wants to pay to see that.
That's like when you watch something like, I don't know, American Idol or like Britain's Got Talent or whatnot, and you have like someone who is like not that energetic,
confident.
But then you grow bigger and people sometimes get paralyzed to ask for help too. I have that as well. Like I had friends that I'm still friends with when I had like 60 viewers, right? And I like over the course of like the last year, I kind of exploded, and people think that like I have more messages and so on than I actually do. Like every now and then, like also people like slide into my DMs and they're like, oh, I know you're busy, or you're probably not going to see this. And it's like, I read DMs, like I don't get like that many. But like even my friends, even people that I've been friends with for like over a year, they're like, just like, I don't want to feel like a clout chaser. I don't want to like, and it's like, we've been friends for such a long time. Like you're not a leech or whatnot. I don't view you like that. It's crazy.
And I think it's one of those things that you can, especially when you've been in the industry for a while, you can tell if somebody's, if somebody's trying to be close to you for clout. I
had somebody befriend friends of mine just to get closer to me. That sucks. That sucks so much.
I had somebody date my brother to try and get closer to it. That was the wildest.
Holy shit.
Thing. That was insane. Because obviously at the time, right, I'm still living at home with my parents. So I have like my brother has his like girlfriend there in their room. And I fucking go out of my bedroom in my own house, right, just to walk and get some, like a cup of tea or something. And I hear giggling across the hall. And I was just like, instantly like, this cannot happen in my, like, this is the only place I have, like, as a sanctuary, Like, it's just like the
God.
fucking, and obviously we had to explain it to my poor brother, who was like, I think you're being used.
Exploited,
because my brother's 5 years younger than me. So, at the time when I was like, like maybe 22 or something, these people were like 17, something like that. So it was like, the age, the age of like fan groups was about 5 years younger than me. So it was like, it was fucking wild.
That's
and
crazy.
That, and that hurt his, like, I mean, obviously my brother grew up to be extremely successful, and he's doing very well for himself. But he, at the time, like as a teenager, that fucking, it sucks. But I think it was one of those things where, so I obviously, I like psychologically, I had to compartmentalize kind of everything in the way of like, the only way I could have the confidence to go up and do what I did on stage and be that uber confident person is to create this character variant of myself, right? Who is this performer? Who is this arrogant, this like thinks they're the shit, you know, has no fear, is this confident person that people want to see on stage. And I literally would, like, before every show, I would literally lock myself away for about half an hour and stuff, and literally just like kind of almost just stay silent, and like it was like a switch over into this completely different personality, which meant that when I was in this like performance state of mind, I was very much like, obviously a lot of my role friends would be like, oh hi, can we do this? And I'd be obviously at the time like, I need to be here at the merch stand, I need to be signing stuff like that, like I'm really busy. And it was one of those things where I realized that as the years went on and we got bigger and bigger and bigger and we were doing more and more things, that this character that I created started to become a bigger part of me. And it got to the point where I started to forget where that character started in the real me, like where the line was.
Yeah.
And obviously having grown up with this and being pushed into this at such a young age, it was very much like, okay, you have to be this character, this cool variant of yourself to be accepted, to be, you know, something that people want to see. So the other real side of you is worthless. You can kill that off. You know, it was like just bury that. And it was also this whole thing is like when I was very young, before this band, like way before this band, I was in another like little childhood band at school, right? And I was kicked out of that band for kissing a guy at a party, and this is obviously pre-transition, and me being a queer kid growing up, being kicked out of a band for kissing a guy, but having it like doing anything that was deemed gay at the time, because keep in mind, this is just after Section 28 in the UK had been like dissolved, so the mindset of the UK was still extremely homophobic at the time.
Can you explain what that is, just for people who are non-UK?
Yeah. So Section 28 was a rule that was brought in by the Thatcher administration. So anybody who knows who Margaret Thatcher is, she was an awful conservative prime minister. She was the first female prime minister in the UK, but unfortunately she was conservative, so she was awful. And she was not only awful to the miners, as in miners being people who mine for coal, but she was also awful for the queer community, and felt that there was a moral endangerment in the UK, that people were at risk of being indoctrinated into this gay lifestyle. It's almost like it's repeating itself now.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's like it's the same agenda and the same talking points. Yep. Oh my god!
Yep.
History can't be repeating itself. We learn from our mistakes. But this time for sure. No. With the gay people, we made mistakes. But this time we got it. This time for sure. With like the trans people, for sure this time.
Yeah. This is the one. This is the one. We're gonna solve.
It started with the left-handed people. The left-handed people are okay, actually. You know, like that's normal. Then went to like the gay people, but like actually gay people. You know, there's like an acceptable gay. Just don't shove it in everyone's faces. You know, just you can do whatever you want behind closed doors, but like the trans people, they are groomed into this.
Yeah, I mean, the acceptable gay is, like as long as you're an accessory to a group of cis female friends, or you are a lesbian doing spicy work. That's the that's the two acceptable levels.
Or conservative gay man who is not flamboyant at all and is just a normal dude, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're a little bit effeminate, like no, then you're just you're allowed to be a caricature. You're allowed to be the comic relief. You know,
the gay best friend.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
But yeah, so pretty much Section 28 was something she brought in that pretty much said that UK schools and education facilities were not allowed to promote or teach or support homosexuality or homosexual ideology. It's pretty much how it was worded.
It's almost like they're doing this with like trans people right now, and like, you know, actually,
Exactly.
it's almost, I don't know, it feels similar.
Yeah. So obviously that was dissolved in, I think it was 2005 in the UK. But because it had been around since the 80s, so by this point this had been law for 25 years or thereabouts, 25 years, right? It was so ingrained into people's heads that being gay is inherently wrong, lesser. It's a bad, it's like a affliction, you know. And it was why there's so many gay jokes. Oh, that's so gay was like something you heard on the daily, you know, like gay was a derogatory word used to describe something that was rubbish or lame or
I mean, we had that
good,
in Germany as well. It's like, oh yeah, that's just gay, like, you know. And it's just reinforcing this, like, with gay, inferior, bad type of like mentality.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's also kind of like how people use like the F slur to like not, you know, in like a sense of like, oh yeah, it's just like a word for somebody who's annoying, not like somebody who's gay or something, and they like try to like justify using it if they are not using it in the context to refer to like gay people, but it still is, you know, a slur for, you know, gay people, and there is like history to it. That's like saying like it's okay to use like the N-word as long as you say it to somebody who is not a person of color, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, it was just so ingrained into our life at the time that obviously. So when that happened, right, you know, I was at a I think we ended up having like a Halloween party when I was like, I don't know, I would have been like 14, 15, something like that. We were at school, and obviously being in like the emo scene at the time, you know, I think there was like spin the bottle as you do with your friends at that sort of age, and ended up making out with a guy because, again, I was a queer kid growing up. I was dealing with those. I wasn't openly queer, but I was dealing with the fact that I had those.
Gay
you know,
thoughts.
my brain was wired.
You had gay thoughts.
My brain was wired to be attracted to both genders. Well, like, you know, to anything at the time, and it was like
to explore.
To explore, yeah, of course, and it was, and then I remember I just got this like message from that band. This isn't the Dead Low Waiting. This is like an older band, just to remind people. But I got a thing, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we heard that you made out with this guy at this party because obviously rumors at school, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, "Yeah, you can't be in the band anymore." So
and that was because you spun the bottle.
Yeah. Because I made out with a guy at a party.
So you spun the bottle, and because you continue playing the game, you kissed the guy, and then you got kicked out.
And then I got kicked out of the band. Yeah, they weren't at that party, by the way. This was like two separate friend groups, but rumors spread through school. So that was like not okay.
That fucking stings. It's like losing a bet, and you know.
Right? Yeah. But because that had happened, this is the thing: is it does have relevance to the story. So because that had happened, even though that was when I was very young, you know, 14, 15, I carried the fact that I got kicked out of a band with me the entire way through the Dead Low Waiting's career, because in my head, people discovering that I wasn't straight meant that I got kicked out of a band. That is how my brain kind of put it, and
it makes sense.
And whereas, you know, like the band at school was just a little kids kind of like, you know, we were playing around and it wasn't anything serious. This band, the Dead Low Waiting, was my career, right? So
like you kind of owed your bandmates to basically suppress a part of yourself in order to not risk their careers as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, they couldn't know. That's it. Like, I couldn't. As far as I was concerned, nobody could know. And I even repressed it from myself. This is how deep that repression really went. Is because my brain just went like, you know, anything that is queer at all equals I lose my everything. And keep in mind that in my brain at this point, my popularity with the band, my everyday, like, you know, touring, practicing, everything else, the band to me was my life. It was every day I'm practicing or on the road or recording. So my brain just went, if anybody ever found out that I was queer, I lose my life. I lose everything. My friends, my career, my popularity, everything that has meaning in my life, it's gone. So it was intrinsic that could never, and also the fact that I was very much marketed, you know, we were very much marketed on like Kerrang is this like, you know, attractive emo boy band, you know, it's this whole, you know, how the fact of the sweepy fringe and posters that all these kids had like on their walls and stuff like that.
You had
and
like,
it was like
a mostly like teenage girl type of audience. So if you were, you know, like, oh, you know, she's not actually straight or whatnot, it would be not appealing because like that fantasy of like, you know, dating the hot singer, just, you know, it wouldn't, like, it would fall apart.
Exactly. And it was very much like it was also I mean I always, to this day, I always wonder what would have happened if I came out as trans. At that, like at the peak of, you know, when we were
on stage. Like, hey, actually, on stage, I'm not a man, I'm a woman.
That would have been
every now and then.
I do wonder how.
I think about like school, because like for me it was a running gag to call me a girl. When I was in English class, like somebody used like the wrong pronouns for me, like the quote unquote wrong pronouns, called me she, and then it was like a running gag. I didn't get into, you know, puberty that quickly, like my voice didn't drop. So I had a girl's voice, so people called me a girl. And there was one situation where we had like a boys versus girls type of game. And like on one side all of the girls should sit, on the other side all of the boys. And somebody turned around and looked at me and was like, you should go on the other side. You know, like to the girls. I always wonder, I always think back at this point and I'm like, what would have happened if I actually like moved over and was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I am a girl.
Just, you know what? Bet.
Yeah. Let me just switch over.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we had that at like my school and stuff as well. And, you know, I always had long hair. This is the thing. I always had long hair and I always wore makeup. So I had the same sort of thing as where I was constantly referred to by my I know. I was constantly referred to by my friends, some of my best friends who were cis women, who were just like always call me princess and stuff like that, because like the rest of the guys would be like before a show or something like that, they'd be, you know, having a drink or anything else and just yapping, whereas I'd be there like hair straighteners, doing my eyeliner. like stuff like that, and just be chatting with my friends who were nearly all girls as well. It's almost as if there were signs. There's a really funny video. In fact, let me see if I can find it.
Are you saying that you think that you're a woman because you didn't fit in with the guys around you and you didn't copy their behaviors? Is that what confused you? But like, you know, you can just be an effeminate man. That's totally fine. You are just a gay man. Oh my god.
Can we show a video?
Do you like share it through Discord?
I have it on YouTube link. If let's see if I can find the
like if you wanna stream share it, I think it should work. Like it would just like appear in the box where your camera is at right now.
Yeah, I was seeing if it came up on just a quick search, which it's not. It's fine. It's fine. So pretty much there was a funny video online somewhere of us pre-show, and it is just it was like documenting I think one of our last shows before we broke up, and it's just the guys there doing it, and it's just like an interview with me just doing my hair and makeup and stuff like that, and everybody just joking, being like, so did the entire tour budget just go on your hair and makeup? I was like, yeah, pretty much. It's like, yeah, pretty much we hired at least 5 people to do my hair at any one given time.
I think you showed this to me, right?
But it was also like, you know, things like I'd go hang out with my friends, I'd wear like their jumpers and clothes. You know, I just felt more comfortable in girls' clothing at the time. You know, keep in mind this is the emo scene, so skinny jeans were all the rage if you were and everything like that. And it was just like and I think it was
like,
glaringly obvious.
It's crazy how like pants were like so heavily gendered, because like if you have something skin tight, something like smooth that is like considered feminine, where something like bulky is like more masculine. And like I always wanted to wear like skin tight things, but you know, I would have just been called like an F-slur or whatnot, and then basically be bullied out of this behavior. There's like a lot of like, we always talk about like conversion therapy as like, you know, you're being shoved into like a cell where people electrocute you when you have gay thoughts, or like make you watch like pornography or something, and but like there's also like the social conversion therapy where really like people will harass you and abuse you and try to like get you out of behaving a certain way that is like going against the cishet normative. Which is what TERFs are doing too, to like, you know, trans men and trans women as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Social conversion therapy is absolutely a thing. You know, like, just getting bullied by your peers until you conform. Especially at like a younger age when, you know, that absolutely happened. And that was, you know, part of the reason of the things that we discussed earlier, was that. It was very much that, like, you know, if I do not conform to this, then I will get abused. And, you know, like, and it was one of the things that I think, you know, like, as much as we've caught up now, you know, like, we've caught up with the guys in the band now, like, recently. But back in the day when we were on tour, there was, you know, there was a lot of, like I was bullied internally within the band quite heavily by certain members, and it was, you know, it was tough, like, because although I was deemed popular out front, you know, these people spent every day with me, and there's only so much you can put that mask on. You know, that mask is fine for when I'm on stage and when I'm engaged with public, but for people who are in the van touring with me every single day, 24 hours a day, you know, like the real you does come through. And that was enough that these people realize that I'm not like them, you know? There's something different.
It's also like you always hear like little jabs, and like it just stacks up where you're being like personally attacked, even though it's just a little joke, right? It's like, oh, you're like in a derogatory way being like called like girly or you know, and that like gives you like the mindset of like, oh, I am other, like I don't fit in, and what I do is like, it is deemed as like something bad if you're constantly you know, hearing these like jabs at your character, especially if you're like if you're trans, but like even if you're just gay or like a femboy, and you just hear these things constantly, and you're constantly being invalidated, and people constantly have to bring attention to these things. It sucks.
Absolutely. It really does. And it's you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I think when I first started, it was that like kind of gothy emo sort of phase thing. So like when we first started, it was a lot of heavy makeup. I actually, there's really funny, if you just like Google the Deadly Waiting We Rise, which was our first album, you can see the album cover. And this is the funniest thing, is the album cover was changed. It was initially like a zombie hand coming through a graveyard, and they were like, no, we need to market the band more, right? We need to make it more like appealing to an audience. So they had this like photo of us as the album cover, which got so much hate everywhere. But let me just I'll send it to you on Discord if you want to.
Oh wait, I just found it. Wait, let me switch over real quick so you can see it. There you go. With the
so let me get your stream up so I can just see what you're sharing.
There you go.
2 secs.
It's you with dog ears.
This is the funny thing, is I done my hair to look like ears. It's almost as if like the puppy girl lifestyle.
There were no signs.
Don't choose the puppy girl lifestyle.
Yeah. There were no signs.
That's just the like wildest fucking thing. And I like look back, and this was taken in like 2017. 2007, sorry, not 17. 2007. Where it was like, yeah, for some reason, it was just like, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is what we're gonna do. And I think it was the part of me that was like, oh, I want to do this because this feels like something I want to do. And then suddenly I remembered that I had to be this mask, right? That was like a slip of real me accidentally got through. And then suddenly it was like, oh wait, and then it got berated everywhere, you know, like people, all the metal press, because this is the thing, is the metal genre was so much of the, and I'm not talking the emo scene here, I'm talking the metal scene specifically, because the metal scene is kind of broken down into you have like your thrash metal scene, your doom metal, your goth metal, then you've got your emo, the screamer, and now you've got metalcore and everything else, and gent and post-hardcore and everything else. But obviously at the time we were marketed towards this like metal scene, and most of the people who listen to metal music are these like big beefy beardy guys who are like uber masculine and listen to Slayer. And this is the thing, is these guys then get like pushed this kind of stuff, and obviously they're like, what the fuck is there? Like, and keep in mind that like this is at the similar sort of time as like Bring Me the Horizon were coming up as well, and Bring Me the Horizon was also berated massively for being Bring Me the Hairspray. That was their like nickname in the scene, like because they wore skinny jeans and they had fringes, and now like look how fucking successful Bring Me the Horizon are. Like,
it's like Fallout Boy. Like that's kind of what I like remember.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Fall Out Boy at very least was part of. So the emo scene was always much more accepting, and Fall Out Boy kind of came up through the emo scene, not the metal scene. Whereas Bring Me the Horizon came up through the metal scene, and so they were subject to this same kind of like massive level of scrutiny from these people who only listen to Pantera, Slayer, Iron Maiden, you know, Metallica, these kind of like bands that are like manly men, and people just like singing things like yeah, and it's just like, and it was like we're obviously there with our singing choruses and stuff like that, and it was just people hated, but there was like two camps. I think it's why we did so well, is because people simultaneously despised us so much, and then the other half loved us so much, and because people despised us so much, the other half was equally as passionate defending us. So I think that kind of helped really with us kind of coming up from stuff, is that fiery passion from both vitriol and adoration together.
Yeah, I remember like you showed me like a review where somebody said like, oh, this is like for Hello Kitty Android or something.
Oh my god, that review starts with something like, what was the record label, I'm not even going to mention them just for legal reasons, I guess, but it's like, what was this record label thinking, dipping their dick into this rabid, like, it was the most explicit, horrific fucking, it was like,
it's so unhinged.
Described us as like a I was like, described us as a band as like a rabid whore, and I was like, what the fuck? And then ended the review as being like, for fans of, and usually they'd put like, you know, Bring Horizon, As I Lay Dying, whatever. No. For fans of Hello Kitty, Play-Doh, and Pokemon. Which, you know, I stand by. All three of those things fucking slap. So
Real.
Absolutely. Where my Hello Kitty, Play-Doh, and Pokemon fans coming up.
Oh my god. No, that was.
But yeah.
That was wild.
But yeah, the whole thing was wild. You know, like it was just a lot of that.
I guess you weren't allowed to wear the puppy ears afterwards.
No, I wasn't. That was my hair. That was just hairspray.
Oh wait, really? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That was my hair, like put into that shape just by like.
That is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you weren't allowed to do that anymore.
I wasn't allowed to do that. No. In fact, so it went through the stage where they were like, you have to dress like this, and they pretty much was like flannel shirts, like blue jeans, like, because keep in mind I wore like exclusively black as well for a long time because goth, and they were like, no, you have to wear this like blue jeans, you have to look normal, like you have to look like every, you know, Topshop fucking, you know, like this generic thing. So yeah, they were like, oh yeah, you don't quite fit in with the rest of the guy's image, and I was like, bitch, I am the image. Like it was literally like I am the front person's band, like I'm the person that is the reason that we get these interesting things is because I dress different from like, you know, like the papers go, oh look, this is a band that looks different from other bands. Yeah. I was like, and you're trying to get us to all dress the same as
it's like erasing the identity, not just like of you, but like the entirety of the band. So you're just like a copy. And I think that like when it comes to labels and so on, it's just because they know kind of what works, and they just want to have like this one formula and they don't want to deviate from it. And it sucks because like it's limiting you, and
exactly,
because like you're just going to be like another band, another copy that's going to be forgotten once like the hype has died down, or once you're like too old right? You're no longer like appealing to the target audience.
I mean, the thing is like that those sort of comments never actually came from the label. The label actually liked the weirder look because they realized it sold. This came from like inside the band, from the other members who were just like, oh, you know, it doesn't seem cool enough. You know, it was that sort of thing.
Do it like this other band. I like this band. Let's just be this band.
There was a lot of that. It was a lot of like, let's try and copy this thing that's cool and popular. But yeah, like the whole thing was wild, and I was obviously very when I did eventually, obviously I came out quite a few years after the band broke up. And I remember the first time meeting up with one of them was playing in a different band in my hometown, and I just came to see their show. And obviously this is the first time since coming out that they'd seen me, and I was so nervous because I was like, I have no idea what it's going to be like. And I recently had I recently went to the drummer's wedding, where for the first time in 11 years I saw nearly all of the band and the band manager, who would be, you know, dealing with us every day. And the manager literally had no idea who I was. And keep in mind, this is a man who for 10 straight years worked with me every single day. Literally, I stood there next to them, and he just like awkwardly smiled at me. And at the first I was like, oh, is he just like not like, I was like, because he was very like blokey, but like, you know, like he was into football, and he wanted to like manage the band like a football team. Yeah, and I thought it was like a phobic thing at first. But he came over, he was like, all right, hello mate, I didn't even realize it was you. How you, like, because somebody obviously went and told him after. And I was like, I like, because I guess for me, like, I was like, I see myself every day, so I don't.
Nothing changed, right? You didn't change enough.
Yeah. Whereas I guess for him, it's like a completely different person. Like, you know, like at this point, I've been on HRT for 5 years, and you know, and I'm dressed very clearly like a woman, not like the awkward emo guy that he would have seen last time he met.
Yeah. Every now and then I wonder what it would be like for like a high school reunion. Because like I'm also like in this mental state where it's like, oh yeah, people are just going to like easily recognize me because like I just look like I did back then. But like if you compare yourself as like a trans person to someone who's cis, and you look at like their old pictures, and it's like you just really actually like look like this. Like you have like a beard now, but like nothing really changed. When it comes to trans people, you go like further back, and you just have like some like a totally
like,
different
who the
person.
Fuck is this?
Yeah.
Exactly. Where, it's. I mean, I guess because I dressed quite androgynously back in the day, it's maybe like, you know, I have similar kind of hair to how I had, and you know, like, and that sort of thing. So there's parts that, you know, I try to express myself as much as I could from a young age, but there's still enough that apparently my manager didn't even fucking recognize me. It's insane to me, absolutely insane. But I'm
glad that it wasn't like a transphobic moment, though. That would have sucked.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit of So he meets up with. So keep in mind, this is before he realizes who I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm stood there, and my guitarist, my old guitarist, who's now trimmed up his like facial hair, like, you know, he's looking well groomed. More well groomed. Yeah, he was a little bit. We were all a lot more scraggly back in the day. So he looks like he's cleaned up and stuff, and he's got a nice shirt on. And the manager's first turnaround is like, all right, I won't say names, but it's like, let's just say Paul for for this story retelling. Is like, all right, Paul is like, I didn't realize it was you. And he literally was like, I thought you turned gay. That was the first thing the manager said to my guitarist. and I'm
That
stood
is-
there next to him. Keep in mind, he doesn't know that it's me. And I'm there like,
I thought
okay.
you turned gay. Wait, I didn't expect that you'd turn a woman.
But like, this wasn't to me. This was to my guitarist, who just looked like a normal guy. But just because he was nicely dressed and well groomed, that was enough that this manager who was on,
wild.
yeah, like he was just like, oh yeah, yeah. He was like, oh, it seems like a gay
wedding
thing to me. On a wedding,
being well groomed on a wedding? No, that's gay. Like, why don't you look like a filthy piece of shit? Why are men lonely?
It's just the whole it was wild, and like, and the thing is, like, as well as he kind of was like, you know, he got a bit. You could tell that he was still insulted that somebody called him gay, but it was a little bit from the insulted because he was like, I'm not gay, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't from the him being homophobic, which I was like, I feel like some of this old mindset, like I forget
it is still like,
it's still prevalent, right?
It's kind of like, you know, the Seinfeld episode of like, no, I'm not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, I would never. I feel like there are a lot of like cis women who fall into this trap when it comes to, you know, being called like trans or whatnot. When like somebody thinks like, oh, you know, are you a trans woman? It's like, I'm not not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, I'm not trans. I'm a real woman. I'm a biological woman. And it's like, it feels shitty. It feels very like degrading and invalidating and so on. And
have you seen the you know the band Lonely Island?
I do, yeah. I did.
You know,
I do know
you know
them.
they did a they did a film. There was a song for that film which was taking a mick out of Macklemore. And it's just the whole thing is like, we've got to stand up for gay rights, but I'm not gay. And it's just like every other verse, he would just keep reminding people that he's like,
you know,
you can be who you are, gay. I'll be who I am, straight.
You know how insecure cis straight people are. If they're supportive of being of like the LGBTQ community, they don't use like the pride flag. They use the ally flag. That is like, you know, it has like an A on it just to make sure that it's like, well, I'm not gay. I'm just very supportive. It's just like I am not. I am not. And
it's
that's crazy. That's wild.
It is wild. In fact, Iveli, who's in chat at the moment in my stream, is somebody else who was on that same touring circuit back in the day, in a different band. So is quite well afraid with how that was growing up. Who's now a wonderful trans woman who now streams as well. But yeah,
is she VT? Damn, we have the same last
she
name.
Is VT. I know you're both from the vtuber family.
That's crazy.
I know. Right?
Oh my god. But yeah, like I can imagine that it's just like, it feels shitty because like trans people and the gay people, when we come out, every now and then we have people who are like, why didn't you say anything sooner? And it's like, we know how you're not just talk about us, or, you know, before you knew, but we also know how you talk about others, and especially like other gay people, other trans people and so on. We know, we hear these things. We are in the same room with you, and you're not safe. Like, we don't want to be treated horribly, and like, your jokes actually affect us, right? When I came out to my dad and I told him things that like bothered me and that like hurt me and caused me to like repress, he was like, yeah, but like we didn't know that this would like affect you like that. And it's like, it doesn't justify this abuse. Like, even if I wasn't trans, constantly invalidating me and like essentially like degrading me and whatnot in this way, like, it does suck. it does hurt. And it's not going to make me feel safe to come out. Even if I was just gay, right? Being told like, oh, why don't you get like a girlfriend? You should get a girlfriend. Isn't she attractive? You should ask her out. You should talk to her. Like, oh my god, you should do. And you're like in this awkward position where it's just like, why do you think that is like an acceptable thing to do? Like in general, not even, okay, I'm trans, so I'm obviously struggling with my own gender identity, and I don't want to deal with relationships before, like transitioning and like in this body. To have people be like, well, we didn't know that you're trans. Well, we didn't know that. It's like, why do you think it's like an acceptable thing to do in general? And that always like that bothered me a lot. It feels very like invalidating, and it's also very like it's ignoring the problem, the actual problem, and it's also trying to like find like reasons for it, like justifications as like, well, I didn't know that it would affect you. I didn't know that it would hurt your feelings. How could I have known? You didn't tell me. And it sucks a lot. It sucks a lot.
Yeah, and this is the like for every awkward laugh that you they make a homophobic or transphobic joke, and you're just there like, because it's that it's that whole thing of like you're then in this terrified situation where you're like, I can't like if I don't like how I behave at that point is whether they discover that you're one of them, because back in the day as well, it was very much like, what are you're not gay, are you? Like it was that very much if you stood up for somebody like making a homophobic joke or anything like that, like if you stood against it, you would just be like, oh well, it's because you're gay. And like that was at the time social suicide. It was like you would just be cast out from every friend circle and everything else. And it was a tough time.
It's crazy how like these thoughts and so on were like so heavily pushed like for such a long time, and it's still ingrained in people so much that it's really easy to bring it back.
Yeah.
Like
it is.
This rise in like hatred for trans people is just being used in order to push the rise for like in the hatred for gay people. And it always feels like people were just like hiding it because they didn't want to stand out, and now they feel safe enough to come out again. So it never really got rid of like the idea that like, being gay is like, oh, it's a sexual thing, and it's gross, and it's going to be the end of society. Can you imagine if everybody was gay? It's detrimental. It makes the military weak, and it's unnatural, and so on. And it's really easy to bring these thoughts back again because people were never taught that it's just normal to be gay, and like you don't have to be straight. And a lot of it comes from like the social conditioning.
Of course it does. I mean, it comes from that whole historical thing of, way back of being like, okay, we need cheap labor to work the fields and work these jobs, so we need peasants to reproduce and do all these things, and then and obey God and all of this stuff. And then it was just like, oh, okay, like these people are not reproducing because they're gay. This means I'm not getting enough free labor from this stuff. And that's when, like that sort of thing of being gay as a sin gets indoctrinated into religion as a means to control, at the time, the peasants and the working class of historical kingdoms. Then that same mentality has just been passed down through the ages, through history, and is still prevalent in our lives today. And it comes from a method of control. It literally just comes from that whole thing of being told that you need to fear this, that this is wrong, and if you do not live in this set of rules, then you will be punished for eternity after you die. You know, like this whole thing. And obviously, you know, a lot
it's
of
like
humanity realize that's not real.
You're born male, and this is your place, this is your role, this is your path. If you're born female, this is your path, this is your role. And like any deviation from that is like so heavily scrutinized, and to the point where like you don't even get to make a decision. Like, you know, your parents know best, and they were like indoctrinated by their parents and their parents and their parents, and it is so wild. And like, because of like religion, it's just making these things holy and uncontestable. Like you can't challenge it because you're going against like the authoritarian, not just the regime, but this entity that is going to, you know, it's like the demons, and you just need to be like talked out of it. You're just confused. You just haven't learned your place yet. It sucks. It sucks a lot.
It's you know, it's a illness that you can be cured, and it's, you know, it comes from history. You know, it's something that's been used as a method of control through hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's still, and you know, with the uprising in right-wing ideology, especially from the religious right, especially from America, you get this like fundamentalist Christian extremism that gets pushed back through. So those kind of tenacious ideals that are based in like biblical scripture that they've altered to their own agenda.
With like fascism, it's also like there's this like nostalgia for a past that didn't exist, and they tell you about like, oh, back then things were better, and it's because now everybody is gay. Now you see LGBTQ flags everywhere. Now you see like, oh, trans people, and they are making things worse, and it shifts the blame away from like the landlords raising the rent, and that's why you can't afford. You know, they're buying all the housing and whatnot, and then they kick you out because you can't afford the rent anymore, and they, you know, could find another tenant or whatnot. And you have billionaires, you have mega corpos and whatnot, but it's it's gay people. It's essentially like, when it comes to video games, it's not the shareholders, it's not the microtransactions, it's not like, you know, the constant you know, exploitative like industry and so on. No, it's because this one game features a story line where there's the option to you know, have a gay romance. That is why it's failing. That's why it's bad. Women aren't hot enough anymore. That's why games are bad.
We're not getting, like, you know, and it's like the thing is that games like Horizon was it Horizon Zero Dawn?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Where Aloy, they obviously just made her look like a normal fucking woman rather than like this like cartoon sort of like every other game
sex object
does. And it was like the outrage for that was insane, and it was like, my guy, she just looks like a regular woman. Like, the fact that she doesn't just have like perfect hourglass figure with giant boobs and a giant ass,
and then they're using like AI to fix it or something, and it's just like turning it into some sex object, like hypersexualized. And I think that a lot of it comes from like guys being sexually frustrated and like seeing real women that remind them of like women that they will like meet and see in real life if they even go outside, but that are so like, you know, that would like reject them or whatnot. But like these you know, blow up dolls, they are so unrealistic that like it is so rare to find someone who looks similar in real life that they think that like that is acceptable.
Yeah. And I mean, and also there's the whole problematic thing of like, you know, making women look as young as possible on these characters, and it's just like, you know, that is in itself is a whole another issue of this like marketing of youth to an extreme point where
I feel like that is what like cis women need to like realize as well, that like a lot of like the transphobia, how they talk about trans women, how they judge trans women's looks and appearances and so on. Even like, you know, TERFs, some mediocre women talking about like, oh, the men in dresses and they were just wearing wigs. And it's about like someone like Hunter Schafer, who is like incredibly attractive, also like conventionally attractive. They don't realize how they are shooting themselves in the foot. And I think it's crazy that like if you tell people that like how they talk about trans women publicly is how they talk about cis women privately, and now because it's more acceptable to talk about like to use misogyny against trans women, it is more acceptable to be misogynistic to cis women even more, like publicly. Like you see, you know, with like the video games and like the harassment of like for sex workers and so on, like the misogyny, and like it never stopped because of like the social stigma. But like if you look at Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and whatnot, like if you don't have like the filters, like TikTok in China, they have like an alternate app. If you open the camera, it automatically applies a beauty filter on your face.
That's wild.
That's how like insane it is to just.
Oh no, actually, it does that in the UK as well.
Really?
Yeah. So we noticed it because we would sometimes for work stuff, we'd just be like filming stuff through the TikTok app, and I'd be like, why does everybody look so like smooth and everything? I was like, it does, just like TikTok's base app with a camera.
That's crazy.
A filtered variant of it. You can literally like, just open your TikTok app and take a video, and then look at your camera app, and you will see the clear difference between the two.
That is insane.
It's insane, and it fuels this kind of like self-conscious like thing that everybody has to adhere to this like perfect smooth skin. Nobody can ever age. Nobody can you know, like have any imperfections or any marks or any like acne or anything like this. Like
everybody has
like,
to be fake. Right?
Yeah, everybody has to be this perfect doll like sort of figure, and it's you know, it has this like mass effect on the mental health and
Mass Effect mentioned.
Self-esteem. Mass Effect mentioned.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, like I don't I mean, like I drop your Mass Effect romances now.
Oh my god.
But you know, I'm just as guilty of it. Like, you know, I will if I'm posting a thing online, because obviously I do my content with just me, you know, not with like an avatar or anything. So I still have that like scrutiny to which probably was indoctrinated into me from the band days.
For me,
that I have to look a certain way.
Yeah, for me, like I used to stream with my face, like pre-transition and whatnot, and I was like, I didn't find myself attractive. Like when I took pictures, like I avoided taking pictures, but I didn't find myself attractive, and I had like gender dysphoria, so I didn't like looking, and I kind of played into like the just being like goofy over the top to, you know, make the faces and whatnot to kind of play into that, I guess. Because if I tried to take a picture, like something that like actually looks, you know, normal and good or whatnot, I would just like hate it. And for me, like being a VTuber, I kind of like allowed myself to not worry about how I looked in this particular clip before like uploading it or whatnot. I didn't like how I was sitting or like the angle or whatnot, or like how I like, you know, the movement or something, and then I can't edit it. Initially I had like the issue with like my voice. Like I didn't like the way that I sounded in this clip, so I didn't want to upload it. Which, you know, is like a similar thing, but like with looks, you have like an additional thing on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, you know, I still have it today with like, because obviously I do a lot of content for companies' social stuff online, which sees a lot of people. And you know, when you're doing it when you're doing content for companies. And they've spent like a day shooting and the budget and everything for that, you can't then go back to them and be like, I don't like how I look in this photo, let's not use that. Like that's not an option you have, because it's out of your control.
I think with voice, it's also like, it's very like dependent on the day. Sometimes you speak a little bit lower and whatnot, and if you're like sitting there, and especially if you have to like talk, and it's like, well, I would like to re-record it, but you know, you can't. It just sucks when it comes to like funny moments that like happen on stream, and it's like, well, I can't go back and recreate that. Do I just scrap it because like I hate it so much? I know from like ASMR artists, I'm friends with a lot of people who are doing ASMR roleplay, and they are like struggling to like sometimes upload videos because their voice doesn't sound right enough to record it, and they have to wait for like a moment where it just like sounds acceptable to them, not even like, you know, good, but like good enough to like upload it. And if you're trans, like there are like so many layers added on top. Obviously, that is something that cis people can experience as well. You know, like cis people hate their voices too, so you know, you shouldn't. But like it's just different, especially if you're like more in the androgynous range, and sometimes you drop into the masked range. Sometimes you're more in the feminine range and perceived a certain way. It can really shape how you feel about certain things as like a content creator.
Absolutely. And I think like, you know, like if I have videos and like, it's the thing is like when we're shooting social content, like I never mind it when it's shot from like a front camera, so I can see myself when we're shooting it. It's generally fine because I can see how I look, and I can generally work out and move my face and move the angle and stuff to a more flattering thing. But then when it's shot and somebody else is just shooting it and I can't see how it is, 9 times out of 10 it comes back and I'm like, I fucking hate it, because it's shot from a slightly lower angle, or it's shot from a slightly wrong thing. It just accentuates like certain things like that I have dysphoria about, like, you know, chin or like brow bone or stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, you know, and
I always take like pictures like in a very like in the same angle, by the like basically. And it's just like, yeah, this is the one that I don't hate as much as the others.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, even now, like, you know, like, obviously, I'm not in my usual room where I'd have 3 points of lighting perfectly smoothing out the thing. So, you know, like, it's fine. But, like,
you look pretty.
You know, like but yeah, you know, it's not the
comfort.
And this is the thing, is like yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things that it's like nothing's real. Like I've spoke about this online as well, like where people were like, oh, you know, you look really nice and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I look nice because there's a light here, there's a light here, and there's a light there that I have perfectly made to make sure that every single angle of my face looks as good as it possibly can do from this angle. This isn't how like I look in the street. You know, when I post pictures, they have been
you're also pretty in the street,
you know,
like you know, it's just, I think that like people are like overly critical, and like I get it, me too. I get it as well. Like sometimes you like walk around the street and like you look at yourself in like the reflection and you're like, you've just looking like a ding dong. Like what the fuck? Like it's I hate this. Like my hair is not like I constantly have to like overcorrect, and by overcorrecting I'm creating more chaos and it's not perfect, and you hyper fixate on like these things that like bother you so much, and it is painful. Yeah. Like most people, like even in the street, they're going to see you like for the first time. They're not going to like think about it. They're just going to like move on. But it's like if I'm wearing like a dress or whatnot, and like are people perceiving me as a woman, or are they looking at me and they're like thinking that, oh, I'm just a man in a dress? Like, what, do they think I'm a femboy, or do they think I'm a woman? Like, what do they think of me? And like you constantly have these thoughts, and it makes you incredibly paranoid and like pretty depressed, and that sucks.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's gotten kind of worse in the UK. With that sort
it's
of
like a safety thing as well.
It's a safety. It's become much more of a safety. It's why I've now gone back to voice training, which I'm not putting into practice for this interview because I'm tired. But
voice training is hard. Voice training is hard.
Voice training's fucking hard,
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, but when I'm out, my voice will be completely different to how it is now. Like when I'm out in public, especially if I'm in like a bathroom or something like that, where my senses of danger are like way higher. Like I have to pass or else I'm in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, the UK has been notorious for this that this whole thing of like trans people being because it's this whole mentality, like turfism has become such a highly publicized thing in the UK.
What I hate is that like people, especially outside of the UK, like cis women, do not understand how there are cis women in the UK who are dealing with like transphobia because they're perceived to be trans and they are cis women. And you have people in other countries who don't realize how the transphobia is bad and how we like need to address this and like stick together, and how like trans women need to be socially accepted as women, so we have women's rights, and people don't have to worry about like, oh, are you a real woman, or are you like a danger and like a parasite and whatnot? Like they don't realize how transphobia affects cis women, so they downplay our issues. To be fair, like obviously like TERFs and so on, they do this constantly, and they're like, oh, good men will see that like you don't have XX chromosomes, so they can harass you and stalk you and post you. And every now and then I get like pictures of people where there's like, oh, this is how you look in real life, and this is like your anime profile and whatnot. And it's like just a bunch of pictures of normal looking women, like just go to Walmart in the US or for instance, like you're going to see women who look just worse, quote unquote worse than the images that they save of like trans women, in order to show how we're just men and freaks and weird and so on. And it sucks so much. It makes you think that like you have to be incredibly like lucky and fortunate to look conventionally attractive as a woman, but like women's beauty expectations and the norms are so high that cis women can't achieve them.
Yeah. Like this, and that's the thing is like, and it's maybe even worse when a woman, say, like, maybe is conventionally very attractive, maybe when they're younger, and then obviously when they get older, natural body things happen. You know, maybe they gain weight, maybe they get some wrinkles and stuff like that, and then suddenly they have this like horrific body dysmorphia, where they are constantly trying to like cling on to
the
like,
cosmetic industry and so on.
Because exactly, because of this like fashion, this like beauty industry expectations that like all women women have to look a certain way, and
they create the issues to have like an industry that is worth like billions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
The same when it comes to like makeup. Hair, like laser hair removal or whatnot. It's a huge industry, and it's just because it's so scrutinized for women to have hair that like even in the advertisement for razors and waxing and so on, the woman doesn't have leg hair. You do not see the removal of the hair. You see like clear, like smooth skin. Being cleaned up, I guess. But like for like men's...
you see the white foam, and then you see the razor go up and push the white foam out the way. That's all you ever see on women's razors. Whereas on men's, you have this like diagram. They usually do the like CGI sort of
they do like the animation like, and things. You have like the scans, like
the hair at like different.
Yeah, and for women, it's just like.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I see like a little hair there. You gotta get removed. That like that needs to be absolutely obliterated. The same when it comes to like my God, who was it? It was like a singer who had like a woman with like hair under the. Oh my God, what is the English word for like under your shoulder blades?
Like armpit?
Armpit, yeah. They were like hair under the armpit, just, you know, because, I don't know, like a social statement. And she got like so much like, it was like used as like a way of like mocking. I think that was like in an iCarly episode where somebody they wanted to make fun of like Britney Spears or something. So they made her... I think even like sister play the role of Britney having like armpit hair or whatnot to like, I guess, bully her or something. I don't know. Like that was so surreal. You know, and it's just like about a teenage girl. Like the amount of bullying. It's fucking wild. But yeah, and then like on the other hand, you always have like people who are like, oh, you're only valid as a woman if you look a certain way, if you adhere to like these norms, if you sound a certain way, and then you try to fulfill these things, and then it's like, oh, you think that like you're a woman because you fulfill these stereotypes, and it's like, no, it's just like I have to fulfill these things in order to get gendered correctly and not constantly be invalidated. And now you're still constantly invalidated because like I can't even mention that I'm trans. Like if I was passing enough, if I had, you know, the quote unquote woman's voice and I started content creation and nobody would know that I'm trans, then I wouldn't have to like deal with it. But the moment that people find out, the moment that it's public, then they have like an issue with it. And it sucks. It bullies you into hiding.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the intent, right? The whole point is to bully trans people into not being in public life.
Yeah, it's like erasing the trans identity, and it's like you're either cis passing or you shouldn't transition at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like if you're in the middle, if you're like in the transitioning stage, you are a problem. You like disrupt society.
But then they take away puberty blockers and things like that from kids,
to make it so hard.
They can't, so that because there was that whole letter from
LGBT Alliance and so on.
the LGBT Alliance, something like that, and it was like we think it's unfair on kids to transition when they're never going to be able to legally actually be a woman and stuff like that. And it's like, because you made that happen. Like, there's
like the
you're
Supreme
not
Court
to
ruling.
take that away. Yeah, because you took it to the Supreme Court, and it was just, it's just wild. The whole thing's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the UK's got a lot of problems at the moment.
How do you feel about the Green Party?
The Green Party, hopeful. I think hopeful. I think Zach.
I see his tweets more often now, and he's always like dunking on Nigel Farage.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I think it's nice that he's like so vocal about like the trans community.
Yeah. They are the only hope that I have for the country politically at the moment. I don't think
Labour is going to be like getting votes. I think it's either like Reform or the Green Party.
Yeah. Which has shown that we've become so
far right.
We've become so we've just become so extremist in both, I guess, like to the fact that these middle ground parties don't need to, like, it's either now you're somebody who's obviously like us, you stand up for minorities' rights and stuff like that, and that is deemed far left. Our views are extremist far left. To the point of being registered as terrorists in certain countries, America. And then on the other side, it's like us being like, hey, so maybe people should have money to live and have healthcare and food and
communists
maybe not
the communist
not be afraid to step out their door, and they're like, that's extremist, and then on the other side they're like, maybe Hitler was onto something.
Yeah.
Is this the two sides we're at now?
I think it's literally just like, I think it's wild that, like, every now and then people are like, they're trying to say that, like, oh yeah, but like we need to talk about trans people. We need to like have a debate and talk about, like, when it comes to trans women in sports, like, what is the line? What is that? What are the regulations? So it's like we are currently being eradicated, having our identity like scrutinized and invalidated, and being used as like a political pawn. People don't want us to exist. People are taking our healthcare away. How the fuck do you imagine we're going to like start talking about like what is acceptable? When should you like be allowed in women's sports? Like, we're so far away from having an actual conversation about like nuance and things, like what is socially acceptable, that it is outright disrespectful and harming us so much more when like normies try to not go all in on like trans rights. It's like, you can have like your worries and whatnot, but like you need to support parties who are backing us up unconditionally, because the alternative are parties who want to lock us in camps.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think I'm seeing some people who are in the middle start to see this now, which is hopefully giving me, I mean, like, I guess like my parents, for example, my parents were people who were voting Conservative a few years ago, and it wasn't until I sat down and was like, hey, so the election's coming up, and by voting this thing, you are supporting people who would like to see me not exist. And this is now beyond, just a view's point of view, this is kind of like actively harming. And I think they did take like they have completely turned around.
I told people that about like the AFD, and they were just like, yeah, but like we actually do need to talk about immigration. We actually do need to like address this. And it's like the way that they talk about it is so extreme. There's no nuance to anything. And a lot of it is just fear-mongering and propaganda and so on and misinformation. And they are telling you that there are problems and that they are the only solution, but these problems don't exist. And instead of like actually voting parties who want to have like a nuance, who want to talk about things, who want to have like a middle ground and like something, like that should be like the right side, right? The ones who want to have like some nuance versus like the ones who have like unconditional support type of thing, right? Like these should be like this. There needs to be the baseline of like, oh, trans people are human beings that deserve to, you know, express themselves and be allowed to have like the safety of, you know, being themselves and living their authentic lives. To which degree and like what should be like the legal ramifications be, or like what, you know, should be like the healthcare and so on, like that could be discussed. Sure, like I'm okay with like talking about these things and like the nuance of certain things. But when the alternative is just people who don't want us to exist, who like scrutinize us and whatnot, then we can't have a nuanced debate. It's just not possible.
Exactly. And this is the thing, is it's like, you know, like it's you know, we're back in the day when they were like, oh, you know, this whole thing's about sports and stuff like that. And it's like, I get that there is a whole different in categories in sports, and I would be fully behind anybody being like, hey, we should have weight categories, or like, you know, like in any sport, it should just all be down to what is your physical makeup as a person. Cool, you're in a category of people with similar physical makeup, if that's a sport that matters, you know, it, like racing or fighting or something like that. It like, I mean, the whole thing of just separating like men and women, like that doesn't necessarily work anyway, because you've got like, you know, and I would said this sort of thing is like in that category
when it comes to like intersex people like, and so on. And it's like,
and also, even if you just go, this is a men's category, okay, for a fight, great, sweet, here's The Rock and then here's Michael Cera. Like, you know, like it doesn't make sense even in its existing form. Like, you know, like there's no one.
I saw a clip, like somebody wanted to like hype up Andrew Tate, and it was like Andrew Tate versus like somebody who was basically like half his size, and you know, Andrew Tate's like big balls, big energy, like he doesn't cave, and then you know, you see him fight against someone in his weight class, and he takes a knee and like, you know, it's like falling into his crotch, which was, you know, very satisfactory, not gonna lie. It was nice to see. Because he does deserve he did deserve to be like what is it, humbled, exactly. Yes. But you know, you have like weight categories. We have weight categories for a reason, like these sports, because there it actually matters.
Yeah.
When it comes to like swimming and whatnot, like somebody like Michael Phelps is like built like a dolphin. Like it's actually unfair, but there it's like celebrated. Like the biological makeup is like celebrated. When it comes to running and like somebody, like even boxing with like Iman Khalif, it's like, oh, but you know, she's intersex, so actually like that's cheating because she has more testosterone. Actually, like she should be banned. Which was like a whole harassment campaign. Yeah.
That whole thing, I think, exposed the nonsense of UK turfism quite heavily anyway.
Yeah, but I think, you know,
Rowling,
people just didn't draw the connections because they see the things happening, they see what causes it, but they don't connect the dots of like how trans people are going to like feel, and instead they're just like, oh, we see the problem, the solution should be like trans people should just be banned, and then nobody would have to like worry about it, right? It's like the same when it comes to like bathrooms. Like a cis woman gets harassed in the bathroom for being perceived as trans. Oh, if these trans women wouldn't be men interested in invading women's spaces, then everything should be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, it's and it's that whole thing of like people being like, oh, it's not a problem that affects me, so it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And
people will know I'm a real woman. People will know.
Yeah.
If not, I will show them that my genitals. That will prove it.
Yeah. But you know, I think it's one of those things where the issues with the UK's issue with transphobia in general stems so much to kind of its core belief of it's these people who, and I think it's a lot of cis women who may be struggling with their own insecurities of maybe, because obviously
a lot of it is like misogyny and like being abused in a misogynistic way, and then internalizing it, always, you know, like giving it outwards, but also thinking their identity is linked to the misogyny that they experience. Like they've been put this label on, and they have like this burden that they need to carry, and now like these men want to take it away. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's very much like I think they also have this kind of this worry of inadequacy, where they've obviously grown up and they fought for these rights, and a lot of these people, you know, they've seen like the fight for women's rights growing up historically and everything else, and they've dealt with a lot of sexism, especially these older women who maybe grew up through the 70s where sexism was rampant. But then again, so was homophobia, and so was everything else, like transphobia. As much as, you know, we weren't as visible, we were still, you know, if you were a visible trans person in the 70s, it was horrific. And I think they are conflating their own feeling like, you know, they've obviously grown to a certain age, and rather than use their experience and their knowledge to help better the younger generations that they come in, they're trying to like drag their feet and be like, no, I will not be irrelevant. The things that I had to experience, everybody has to experience, and
it shouldn't
be
it's for nothing or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like I earned this label because of the suffering.
Yeah. And I think you get that for I think you get that for a lot of people in oppressed communities in general, where I've seen it in like the queer communities and stuff, where they'd be like, kids have it so easy now and stuff like that. And it's like, that's the point. This is what we fought for. It's so that kids could have it. I mean, not that they do have it easy, you know, it's still horrific, but even if they did, that's literally what we're here fighting for, is so that the kids of tomorrow can have it easy. Like, we want people to be able to grow up and be themselves and not have to hide and not have to deal with this kind of bigotry on a daily basis. That is why we are fighting today, is so that tomorrow they can have a better life. And this whole thing of like people being like, oh, well, they're not going through the same thing as I do, they don't deserve, they're not as worthy. And it's like, it's such a flawed mindset, and it's completely missing the point as to why we fight for what we do.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, the thing is, like, what I hate about like boomers and so on, like the generation before them tried to make, you know, things better for them, and then boomers just like exploited that and ruined it for everyone else. And you know, like the Gen X type of like generation, they are like still capitalizing off of things, but make things worse and worse for people, for younger generations. And it sucks so much that like the cycle continuously like repeats itself, because like they are just at the top and they want to enrich themselves instead of like improving, you know, making the world a better place. It's just about what can I get out of it right now.
Exactly. And I think Gen X is an interesting one, where it's a generation that was fundamentally built on this rebellious mindset, right? It was like, fuck the system, fuck the government. You know, that was the whole ethos of Gen X, was this like, you know, they were people who, you know, pioneered the movements in like in hip hop, in like in rock with like Rage Against the Machine and all of these like and the punk scene and everything else, and to see a large amount, not saying like all Gen X, because I know there's some people who are in that generation who are wonderful allies, but to see a large swath of them then come out and be like, oh well, this is like, still hold on to things, but like, this is gay, gay, you know, like, and then keep trying to, and it's just like, my guy, your whole thing was trying to like rip down
when people look at like punk and they're like, oh, being a turf is the new punk, and it's like, you're the system, you're like, you know, who do you think
you are exactly
what do you think
you
like,
are who you are rebelling against?
You're not rebelling against like the patriarchy. No, you are enforcing it. You're a foot soldier of the patriarchy, and you're making your life hell, your daughter's life hell, and their daughter's life hell. That is what you're working towards. That's what you're fighting towards. J.K. Rowling is not a savior of women. J.K. Rowling is a savior of misogynistic men.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a somebody who just needs fucking therapy. Like, my God. Like, girl, you have the money. You're a billionaire. Just fucking go to therapy. Work that shit out, and then use your money to make the world a better place. You don't have... Well, that's the thing, is you don't even have to use your money to make trans people's lives a better place. Just put it somewhere. Help minorities and any other
That's how I feel about Asmongold too. I'm gonna be real. It's just like, you have so much money, and like, you cleaned your room and everybody is celebrating you because you did something that like is expected of like a 12-year-old. But like, why don't you just like, that is such a miserable existence. Right? Like, something must have like broken in the brain, or it always has been, to get to a point where just like, I don't actually give a fuck about myself or anyone else, and I'm still profiting off of it. So that to me is just like telling me that I'm winning. It's like when people can like harass me or whatnot, and I'm, you know, breaking down on stream and I start crying, then it's like I get gratification from it, because like I am doing something to you and like make your life more difficult, you know, which is just like, it is so insane. Like, how can you think that like that is a you know, good existence? Like, why do you do this? Especially if you have a platform, especially if you have money. Fucked up.
Yeah. I obviously the more power and influence,
you made enough time to come. Hey yo. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I
I'm
also
proud
got
of you for coming.
I got followed by somebody called Two Hot Girls Kissing, which I was like, that is a wild name.
Could be us. Could be us.
Could be us. Unless.
Stretch.
Yeah.
Sorry, that caught me off guard. I had to talk about that.
No worries. I've also been shrimping this entire chat. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bottom. Goddamn. I think I wanted to talk about the website that your friends have been working on. I think that would be a good point to yap about that. I want to address this later on, maybe like on Monday's stream. I'm going to like talk about it a little bit more, to just turn it into like a short video, but you know, as like an introduction and so on. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah, give me just 2 seconds to quickly get everything up for it. So, do you want to get it up on your side to show stuff, or shall I share from my side?
I haven't really thought about that when it comes to my overlays. I wanted to actually make something where we have like the cameras and then like the ability to like add a screen. But I don't have that. So that's like a little bit iffy. But like, what if I just snatch this and I paste a and then I make this smaller and like move it between us. Why can I not move this?
If you yappers, hydrate. I will hydrate.
Wait, what was the website again?
It is mytransgp.org.
The thing is, like, I do not have UK postal code, obviously, but
no,
I can just like show this quick. It's the website, and if I just put this right here in the middle,
let's just find number 10 Downing Street's postcode.
if I like type something in here, this is not doxing anything, right?
So I'm giving you the postcode for the Prime Minister's office. We can dox the Prime Minister.
Okay.
There we go.
That should be kind of fine.
Yeah, there we go. You can just this is Keir Starmer's postcode. So
yeah, let me just... Okay, there we go. So, website. This is the starting thingy. So, we are talking about a brand new project that relies on the community. So, it is essentially allowing you to find GPs in your area and to rate them, or to see how other people are rating their GPs, so you can find someone who is more trans friendly.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily just that. So one of the key aspects of it is that in the UK, we have, so because waiting times for trans healthcare is so horrifically long, we majority of trans people, if they are fortunate enough to be able to go private, will do. And oftentimes when you go private, you will have your prescription for HRT that will be managed through your private healthcare, be that like London Transgender Clinic or like Gender GP or Anne or anything like that. You will then have to take that prescription and from them and collaborate with your local GP to get your medication. So that requires your local GP to agree to something what's called a shared care agreement. Now, this is something that GPs in the UK are not legally required to do, but majority of them, if they're decent human being, will do. It's essentially just pretty much means that they are happy to go, look, I as a doctor, as a local doctor, am not a GP means general practitioner. So general practitioner is pretty much a general practitioner of medicine. It just means somebody who is your local doctor. You know, if you got a cold or a headache or whatever, a rash, it's the person you go to in your local
Yeah, it's like a
town,
family
local area.
doctor, or, you know, like in Germany would be Allgemeinmediziner. So, you know.
Yeah, that simple word.
Exactly.
Trust Germany to have like
somebody
the
who
most
just
simple word for everything.
Someone would just you go for anything. Hausarzt. Yeah, could be too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the simple word. But like I'm German, so I have to use the complicated word.
I feel like this is that like the VTuber does like the car brand names and just like starts doing the super long variant of everything. But yeah, so pretty much.
Primary care provider. Oh yeah.
Because your local GP is very likely that they're not going to be somebody who specializes in trans healthcare. It's not something that's a generalized knowledge of most medical practitioners. It requires a specialist to be able to sign off. So most GPs will not give you HRT unless you've had the proper diagnosis, or you've been prescribed this by somebody who is authorized to do so. So what that generally means is they have gone, okay, this person who is a specialist has looked at this patient who is on their local GP list and gone, yep, this person needs this medication. Can you please facilitate this on their behalf? We've like, from one doctor to another, we've confirmed, as I'm a specialist, that they need it. Here's the prescription. You as a local doctor, can you please make sure they can get their meds? And that's generally the agreement. It's also that plus like, can you also make sure they can get blood tests? Because especially when you're early on in your transition, you need to be able to get regular blood tests every 3 months to be able to monitor your levels, for your hormone levels. That's an extremely important part.
Yeah.
And everything else, you know, like weight and you know, seeing you in person and that sort of thing. So that shared agreement is pretty much just like between your specialist for gender health clinic and your local GP. Between the two of them, they will dual wield your medical care for gender transition, and that is what a shared care agreement essentially is. So what this site will do is it will tell you if this doctor is somebody who will take on this shared care agreement. Because I've had it previously where I used to live, where we went to a doctor. I was like, hey, look, here's the thing. Can you please agree to share care? I'm like, no, we don't do this. It doesn't come under what we deem as essential care. And more and more doctors that maybe, because a lot of it is, you know, like, because they don't have to do it. So it's kind of down on that particular doctor's own views and prejudices to decide whether they deem that's something they want to do. And, you know, some doctors are transphobic. That's the real, like, humans, you know, just because you have a doctorate doesn't mean that you're exempt from bigotry.
It's the same with like psychiatrists or like psychologists, like therapists and so on. Like, it's a real struggle because like in Germany, there are like free courses that therapists can take in order to educate themselves on gender identity and so on. And a lot of them just refuse to do it.
Exactly. And it is one of those things that, like, unfortunately, people still have their biases on that. You hope that with having, you know, higher education, that the amount of biases you have is lesser, but it still happens, you know, and there's lots of things in play for that. But
like Richard
anyway,
Dawkins type of level.
Yeah, exactly. But what my trans GP does is it's pretty much allows you to comment and rate in different areas. You know, is this GP currently accepting new patients? Do they accept patients out of areas? Because that's another big thing is, you know, if you live somewhere that's near this GP, but you don't live in their catchment zone, then a lot of GPs will not take you on because you do
Yeah.
not live in the exact postal code zone that's in their area. Some GPs will, especially in the cases of, hi, I'm a minority from this group, I need specialist care. I hear that you are a GP that would provide this, and my ones in my area will not. Will you take me on as a special case? And some of them will do that. My current GP is a good example of that, where I don't live in the exact catchment area, but I go see them because they are somebody who will support me. And pretty much this is a site that is built around taking out that guessing work. It's built around you not having to go through every single GP and trial and error and ask them if they'll help you and be rejected and, you know, go through all these things. And it's also things like, you know, are they just rude? Are they, you know, it gets to things like, is there a particular doctor that's really nasty towards trans people and maybe the rest of the staff are nice, so you can just ask to not have to deal with that particular doctor. So it's pretty much like TripAdvisor or Trustpilot for GPs. That's kind of really the overall gist of it. But it's it's specifically for the trans medical experience in the UK. What we need from anybody who does live in the UK or frequently visit or has family in the UK or anything like that, especially anybody who has dealt with trans healthcare in any capacity, is we need people to go on there and review their local GP that they use, because this site only works if people review their things. It only becomes the valuable database of people's information on that if people are giving their like feedback on their local GP. So we really do need people to share this with anybody they know who lives in the UK, get them to rate their local GP. Everything, what I will say is, just for people who maybe are worried about outing themselves or anything like that, because obviously that's a big worry in the UK, when you register on the site, you are auto-generated a code name. So it won't ask you for your real details will not be public at all or anything like that. The only reason it asks you to register on there is just as a safeguarding way to try and keep transphobic attacks from the from the site. So
you sign in using like Google, but like your username is still
so you sign in and it will auto generate. You don't make your username, so you don't even have to worry about being like, oh, I went on there as Lucifer and I've got my, you know, or Nyara or whatever, and now people can link that to that. It will give you a auto-generated username.
For people
that is just random.
For people in Germany, we have something similar. It's called like Queermede, queermede-deutschland.de, and there you can go to like look for recommendations, and you can like look for the medical field and like the city and like group of person. Like you can look for people who, you know, deal with those that are intersex or, you know, trans and so on, and you can check for like the reasons for visit. Obviously it's like a little bit more, you know, it's like a little bit broader, so there are a lot of things there, very like specific things as well as, you know, voice training and so on. But yeah, so we have a similar website for like Germany, but this is like
that's good,
more focused on, you know, for trans people and like the the specific needs for trans people, like name change or gender change and so on.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the sort of thing. So these are all things. So obviously, this is developed by a group of trans people who have gone through these experiences themselves, and it's to try and cut out that guessing work and give this resource that, hi, you know, there are communities out there, we are here to support you, you know, like there's other people who are going through these things with yourself.
I just see a message from Julian saying, we only store and process the sub ID of your Google account, which is otherwise invisible. We don't store your name, profile picture, or anything else. The Google auth page should say it on the left-hand side.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Sweet. So yeah, there we are. So some of the team who are behind the site are in chat as well. So if you guys do have questions, ask them in chat, and I think they will hopefully pick them up and be able to answer any specifics. So yeah, I've been tasked with making it look nice and getting the word out there between all of us, but I'm not the brains behind all the techie stuff behind it. So if you have any particular questions with that sort of thing, or how the data is used or anything like that, then they should be able to answer those questions in chat.
Yeah, you can see the little pop-up if you press on login with Google. Your account will receive a randomly generated nickname. The only information we receive from Google is your account's unique identifier.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously the other thing as well is like any self-funded project, there are running costs or anything like that. So if anybody does want to help support that, there is a donate button on the site that you can help support the team. So
where's the donate button
running? Should be. Is it somewhere on the site? If not, maybe if somebody from the team can pop that
in
down,
at the start on the homepage.
Oh, okay, cool.
You should add one. Maybe like in the footer.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously quite newly launched. I think it launched
last week.
I think it's soft launched earlier this week. Yeah. So yeah, it's in its baby steps. Obviously, any feedback as well that you guys have, feel free, and that can be passed on to the team. Anything else you'd like to see, like if you go, oh, this thing isn't on the site, I would like to see this information, then that's something we can pass back on to the team as well.
And it leads to a Ko-Fi where there are, like, it's going to be transparent what the funds are being used for.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. But that is the project pretty much, and hopefully it will become quite a boon to the trans community. But it needs the most.
It's going to
important
take
thing is
some time till it's.
It's got to take some time to build up. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things like anything that is community based, that it is just about word of mouth. Like it will become stronger and better and better and better. The more people who know about it, the more people who leave their reviews, the more people who do that. So the main thing I can ask from everybody here is, please, if you know anybody in the UK who deals with trans healthcare, then please do just share it. Share it to as many people as you can to get them to rate their local GP, so that this can become a better and better resource for the community.
Yeah. Anything else that we're missing? Julian, is there anything that we're missing? Anything you wanna?
Oh yeah,
wanna say?
yeah. Is there anything from the team that you'd like us to say about it?
Not sponsored.
Not said about it.
Not sponsored.
It's yeah. It's not. If you refresh, the donate link has been added to the footer. Oh, okay, cool.
Perfect.
There you go. There we are.
Quick changes.
Yeah,
Quick changes.
There we go. Look at that. See, the dev team are watching. That's how quick your feedback will be. Will be actioned. Like, you say it, and if they haven't fed it back within 2 minutes, then then they don't care.
Yeah, I really appreciate it because like trans people, we are such a like small minority that is like so overlooked. We have to look out for each other. It's the same when it comes to like resources like DIYHRT.info and whatnot. Like all of these websites, they're community projects. It's trans people looking out for other trans people, and you know that's what we need. And I just hope that more people are joining in so more people can benefit from it. And you know, like if you're moving to a new place, even if you're like moving within the UK to like a different area and you have to look for a new GP and so on, like it can be difficult to like always start over, and it's kind of like might trap you in like a certain location.
Absolutely. It's one of those things as well, like, you know, it's an important I think for a lot of trans people, if you're looking to move to a new area, or you're looking for a house, or you're renting or anything like that, having a GP that will be able to facilitate your meds is an essential. That's not a nice to have. That is a make or break. Can I rent this property, or can I buy this house? Will I have access to medication? Because like you could find the perfect house and be like, this is perfect, but there's no way to get my meds. You can't live, you know, like there's that's not an option. So so that it is,
it's like, really, you know, it's also linked to like the job. If you you know, move to a different area because of the job, and then in this area you don't find like a GP who's willing to help you, it's like, can you even go there? Like that sucks. That is
absolutely. And unfortunately it's one of those things that the trans community has to deal with, maybe in a way that other communities don't, you know, like I don't know many other communities that maybe are that reliant on a steady like of medication. Now obviously there's individual basis of like, you know, somebody being like, I have this life-saving medication that I need forever for something like cancer.
But it's like it's like trans healthcare is not on the same level as something like, oh, I can't move to this area because I can't get insulin, like within the same country, right? Like you don't have like this level of like dependency on, you know, doctors who are supportive. And then it's like, well, why don't you just do DIY? And it's like, yeah, to some extent that is like the only alternative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing is obviously, trans healthcare in the UK in general is difficult to access at the best of times. This is just taking away one barrier and try and make it a little bit easier. Yeah, you know,
it's still a broken arm. This is just, you know, it's a band-aid. There needs to be a lot of things to fix it. It's kind of like how I was talking. I still haven't made a video about it. I want to make like a proper video with like Finsta and like N Healthcare, where people are like, oh, this doesn't fix the issue, so why bother? It's like it is still like a resource and still beneficial, and like it costs a lot of money and whatnot, but like, and it's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it sucks so much how like there's so much scrutiny for something that is you know, it's just people within the community trying to help others in the community.
I think that's also the case. Like as soon as you're somebody who's got like a following, you either everything you do is either perfect without any flaws, or you're a demon and you're ruining everything. And it's just it's the expectation. It's like, look, it like people are making this slightly.
If you expect, you know, like if you expect a sex worker to fix things that are caused by political like entities and like governments, I feel like something is wrong with you. Just like, you know, when it comes to like the Finsta situations, like you gotta, I don't know. You gotta be a little bit more realistic and more like appreciative of certain things, you know? Like,
Absolutely.
even if you're fine with like the alternative to just do DIY, it's like some people benefit from, you know, doing that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think we're pretty, so from the team, they said they're happy. They think that we've explained it accurately and well. That's good. Fantastically. They moved cities and had zero clue how to get meds and just had to bang their head trying to find someone that will actually give me care. So this is our contributing to trying to fix that issue for the trans community. There we go. Yeah. So
I
wonderful.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's great stuff they do. Like, you know, they're very hardworking. They don't get paid for this. This is all off their own love and wanting to support the community. So
it's a passion project.
It's a passion project. And yeah, and obviously, you know, we're not getting any money from them because they have no money for talking about this.
Go support the Ko-Fi. It is on the website. It's now in the footer, actually. Like, you know, you can click the newly added button. Oh my god.
But yeah, one thing I did want to, if we are good probably to segue on actually from that now. I think we've probably covered majority stuff on the site.
Yeah.
Is on the thing of that is it's in early stages right now, but we are thinking probably next May of doing another one of the big charity fundraising 24-hour streams, which we are currently in the working stages of doing. So for anybody who didn't see last year's one, we did a whole 24-hour stream for gendered intelligence.
I was actually that was actually like how we met, because like I was in the D&D game and I got invited after being messaged on TikTok because I followed Lucy back. And I joined in for the charity event. That was like the only interaction that we had. And then we met on TwitchCon. And then, you know, that's just like how the last, I guess, like 6 months or so, like, you know, it was
of everyday calls and emotional.
Wait. Anonymous gave a sub to not a real woman. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
So I am.
That's the wildest, like, turf kind of like troll thing.
That is like, you gave me money to be trans. I can't even be mad.
You know, I honestly, I'm impressed.
I appreciate the dedication. Like that is.
Like if you're gonna oppress me, at least pay me.
Yeah, it's like you can literally pay me money to insult me. That I am totally okay with that. But like, this is some dedication. Like you can.
Also the making a because I presume that if they've gifted the sub, then they've made 2 accounts.
Yeah.
They've made one with the turf name and then a second account just to sub it so that it comes up. Which, that's a lot of effort.
You definitely destroyed me. Like you destroyed both of us. Like if you want to own us more, you should buy my merch and set it on fire. That would be something. Like you should go to my Ko-Fi and give me money and attach like I have like ASMR service thingy. Like you can just give me money, pay me for that service and whatnot, and like that would be like, they would totally own me. You would destroy me so much.
Yeah. You should start thing with people and just.
You can go to my 4th wall. Like if you really wanna own me, go to my 4th wall and you can gift merch to people in my chat. I think that would destroy me. You should buy my merch for other people within my community to like fully destroy me, and you can leave a message actually. The thing is, like, you on the website, like, you can leave a message to be transphobic while you get that would own me so much.
Fantastic.
I really appreciate that. That is
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I will think about this for like a long time. That I got fully wrecked. A nice heartfelt message would destroy her. Yeah, put me in my place by buying merch and leaving heartfelt messages to own the libs.
Yeah.
Ruin my day. Actually, it would ruin my day. Giving money to the libs, where's your communism get owned? Oh my god. Okay, that's so fucking funny.
That's so wild.
That's so
but
funny.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how we met. And then and then that went like crazy. I was like blown away by how generous people were on that charity stream. Like, that was insane.
I was like, initially, I think it was like, I was kind of like blown away with like how you did like a professional setup, and you have, you know, people like you know, helping you out behind the scenes and whatnot, and like, you know, keeping track of time and like scheduling and so on. So I was like, I was so happy that you actually you know, got the support from other streamers who are sending their community, and those are like incredibly generous and whatnot. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you're cooking this year.
Yeah, well, the obviously details are still TBC with everything. The big thing I can say is that my goals have become much more lofty. Where I think we got like 2,300 and something last year.
Pounds.
My goal is 10 pounds. Yeah. My goal for this year is 10 grand, which is wild. But if we manage to lock down some of the people that I hope to do so, who I will not name because they are not confirmed, I hope that we can do it. I do, but just keep a lookout for details on that will be shared soon once we've got things confirmed. But it will be, it'll be good. It will be 24 hours of me looking more and more like I want to die throughout the. But then, I think there's going to be more people for I think the segments are going to be shorter, and the amount of people is going to be more. So that should hopefully help me stay awake through all of it. I feel like I'm going to bring you in like multiple times throughout it. It's just like the jester to come in and just knock me. Because you're pretty good at that.
I do be clowning.
Now live to Nyara.
It's just, oh my god. Okay, so this is German. It's German YouTubing scene, and like Twitch scene. So like the clips and whatnot, they are German. But there was like a soccer event or whatnot, and you know the coaches were like streaming as well, and there was like casters who were like in the moment moving on to like a German like streamer who was talking about like, so it was about like the abduction of like the Venezuelan like president, and it was like, he was like, oh, if you pee in your oh my god, if you pee in your sink, that is fine and all, but if you pee in other people's sinks, then you know, it's problematic. And in this moment, the casters moved over to like his stream and showed this to like millions of people. And it was, it was kind of funny. I feel like if you wanted to set something up like that, it's just like you press a button and it moves over to my stream and I say something unhinged. I would be fine with that.
I'm just gonna keep you on just like speed dial.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Nyar. So like, just an FYI, at any point in 24 hours, I'm gonna call you and you have to pick up. I don't give a fuck if it's like 4 a.m. in Germany. Like you're picking up.
It's like I'm
like, now over to Germany, the weather.
I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. I was like, what's happening?
Throwing stuff to keep it. Yes, there was stuff being thrown. It is literally, yeah. So last year we had blow highs being, because obviously trans stream, you're gonna have blow highs. But there was a redeem. I think every time anybody donated more than like 50 quid or something like that, that I got absolutely pelted with blow highs. And that happened far more times than I would like. But I mean, we did a one last time with the birthday stream where I ended up getting cream pied multiple times. So we'll probably bring.
I need to get over my travel anxiety so I can be there in person, and you just place like a little dog bird and have like a camera pointing to it, and it's just like, you know how like some streamers like just have like a little cam in the corner.
Do you feel like your travel anxiety would count if I drove over to Germany and then bundled you into the car in a little like pet carrying cage? We'll get one of those like pet cages for the back, all right? And it'll have a little like fox nest in there. It'll be fine. You'll be all strapped in. It'll be all good. And
no, it doesn't fix a lot of the anxiety. It takes some of it away, but a lot of it is like the planning and like also me like worrying about a lot of things, and also like always having like the idea that like, oh, I forgot something, or I forgot that, or I don't know how to like manage this one thing. When it comes to like content creation, it's always like, oh, so I need to like pre-make like these videos and like video editing as well for other people, and it really like it stresses me out, and I get to a point where it's just like, oh, I can't really like it gives me like actual anxiety attacks.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's yeah, we were for who doesn't, we were going to do Christmas, and then obviously that was
I drove to Paris instead. The thing is, like, when I drive, I'm a little bit more versatile, and I can like last minute pack things. If I just have like a suitcase and I have to fly, I have to like adhere to certain restrictions and regulations and whatnot. And if I forgot something, I didn't plan for something, and then it doesn't fit into the suitcase, and I have to like try to work things out, like that stresses me out. If I drive somewhere, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to like take another bag and I just put the shit in there, and then it's going to be fine.
I feel like it's gonna be a first time, and I think what probably needs to happen is a minor thing needs to go wrong. You need to forget something, and then it not be a big deal, and it just be sorted, and it's fine.
The thing is, like,
I think that will help.
I always forget something, right? It's always like a little thing, if it's like a razor, or if it's I don't know, like soap, because, you know, like I'm a stinky fox. I don't shower, but like sometimes I do want to shower, but, you know, maybe I forget something. Like I drove to Paris. I forgot something, you know, stuff that I put in my hair that's like a little bit firmer, I guess. And it's like it's fine. It's fine. But I always need to forget something. When I was a kid, I was in a theater, in a play, and it was a big script. Like we were like 12, 13, 14. We had songs and like a huge freaking book that we had to learn stuff. And I kind of blacked out, right? I don't really remember a lot of things, but what I remember is like my first line. So we're like on a ship and it's like a storm and you know things are like shaking, and I think I have to like scream for like, oh, the wine. It's, you know, it's like and I was sitting there and it was my first line and I was like, people were looking at me and I forgot. And because I was always like so worried about like forgetting something, the fact that I forgot it like at the start and then everything went smoothly was like, oh, I forgot something, I messed up, things are awkward, but like everybody actually moved on and it was fine. Like I forgot, and like we were taught like if somebody forgets a line, just move on, just, you know, keep it going. And because things were fine despite me forgetting something, like I could just like do the thing. Like the awkward moment was over. Yeah. But that's kind of like how it's with traveling. It's like there's something. I will arrive at this place and I forgot something. When I went to the hospital for my bottom surgery, I forgot my razor. Awkward thing. Yeah. Because like if I don't shave my facial hair, even if I shower, I feel dirty. Right? But okay, not a big deal. I will call someone, they buy me a razor. You know, fair enough. Okay. Sorry, I got followed by someone who, you know, so I always have like this. I also have like this ADHD packing where I just like I walk through the apartment and it's like, oh, there's like this thing. I need to bring this thing. I need to bring this thing, and I don't have like actual like order, and I worry about like when it comes to outfits, you know, what do I wear? What combinations am I going to are going to be fine, and so on. And I think because I know something is going to be wrong, and it's probably not a big a deal. Like I will forget something. Like I will have the essentials. I will find like a solution, but it's still incredibly stressful for me.
Yeah. No, I get the stress from it. I mean, and I had a similar thing to your theatrics where, like, you know, there was multiple times on stage where you just get to a bit and like, even though you'd done the songs over and over and over again, your brain would just blank. And it'd be like just before a point where there's like no music behind it, it's just vocals. And it'd just be like, I'm about to make some shit up on the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like it's
there
one
was
of those things where you
there was this Hollywood Undead song where they're singing Bullet acoustic on a radio show, and it's like the lyrics don't make sense because I think it was Johnny Three Tears who was like starting to like just to come up with something, and someone on the guitar was just like looking at him and like smirking. It's like, oh, you forgot the lyrics, but it's like, you know, it still works. People roll with things, and you know, it's natural and it's fine. But it's just like I'm so worried about these things, and I don't know.
It'll be fine though. I know it's easier said than done, but it'll be fine. We will get Operation Fops to the UK. That will happen eventually. I'll make a. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get Nyara a Nyara mask.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start doing videos of Fops in the UK.
Yeah, I kind of want to get like something also for like TwitchCon.
Yeah. I was also very worried about my UK trip, and it ended up being fine. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's generally, you know, traveling can seem really scary, especially if you're going somewhere where you don't know. And,
Not just put Nyara to sleep and ship her to the UK.
We could. That is an option.
I'm just going to get knocked out. Like at some point, Lucy is going to like break into my my home and just like putting me to sleep and abducting me to the UK.
I'll just be like, hey, cool. Oh, look, you're about to sneeze. Let's just put this cloth in front of you. There we go. Now she's asleep, and we'll bundle her in the car. And she'll be like, wakey, wakey. You're in the UK. Yeah, that'll work, right?
Oh my god.
Put her in a cage and drag her. Yeah. Hi, Lucy. What are you doing here? Why do you have a comically large burlap sack?
Oh my god.
See, like what I could do is if I just like go to her house and just put like treats on the floor in a row, and we slowly like Hansel and Gretel this shit all the way to the UK. Like she's like, oh, piece of candy. Like, all the way down to the ferry or onto a plane. I think that could work. Chat, I am open to suggestions to how to get Fops to the UK.
Bold of you to assume she wouldn't be too lazy to go after the treats. It's like, oh my god, there are treats, but like I have to leave my dog bed and put my blanket away, and it's cold outside, and I don't like that.
So what I'm hearing is we drag the dog bed with Fops inside it and the blanket onto like a pallet or in the back of a van, and then we just fucking yeet our way across the ferry.
I swear to God, I think it would be easier to develop like teleportation.
Yeah.
To just like instantly warp me to the UK. I think developing that technology to make this possible would be easier.
We could try that.
Sushi roller.
I reckon if you give me like a week of hyperfixation, I could probably.
I will pull it off.
Yeah,
I feel like you have too much ADHD. Like, I think you would be like halfway through it, but like you would like start losing interest and developing a different technology.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like. It's cool. So I got to the teleportation part just before it, and then I realized that I could make a Starion real, and now I have.
Oh my god.
So that
Lucy develops vampirism. just to make a stereo.
Just to make IRL Starion.
Yeah.
I feel like at one point, right? At one point, there's a less than zero chance that Neil Newborn may at some point just stumble across my stream, and I'm gonna be saying that some of the shit, and I'm gonna get a restraining order. Like, it's gonna be like, just keep the skull away.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh god. But yeah, Operation Get Fops to the UK will will be
One
active
day.
at some point. 2026. 2026. It's gonna happen in 2026.
Yeah.
That's
I gotta learn how to, like, even just taking the train stresses me out.
Yeah.
For similar reasons as like train and plane, but with the train you also have like, you know, you have your connection trains, and then you know you got German trains, so they don't arrive and they freak you out. Sometimes they're like, oh, we're going to be punctual. Never mind, we're not going to be punctual. Oh, we're going to be punctual. Oh, never mind. And it's just like over the course of literally like you know, what is it? Over the course of like 30 minutes, 15 times.
Yeah.
It stresses me out.
I have seen you and trains. And yes, I have seen this IRL. The stress with getting Boyd back and everything else.
Yeah.
There was some tasty. There was a nice bagel there. I remember this is the other thing as well. Is I need you to come. I need you to come over so that you can bring those. Like, I've run out of the vegan meat, and it lasted me so long. I took almost an entire suitcase worth of like vegan deli meat in my suitcase and flew it back. I feel like somebody in security was like,
why are you like, goddamn, do they not feed you in the UK? What's happening? It's fine if Nyo doesn't have a restraining from Hassan, you're still safe from me. What do you mean? Hassan said my name like a few times and like read my tweets a couple of times. Like, we're basically best friends.
I was told to go brat somewhere else by Ruby. Welcome. You are welcome to brat here. This is somewhere where bratting is commonplace.
Yeah. Lucy is vegan, yes.
I am vegan. Yeah.
I went to McDonald's yesterday. I was craving something. I wanted to like treat myself. Had a stressful day. And I saw that they made vegan wraps now in Germany. Like I like they have like the Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
And it's really good, actually. The thing is, like, there's so many different flavors. You get like all the sauces and whatnot. Like, you don't feel the difference. The texture's pretty similar. Initially,
that's the thing.
When I got the nuggets, initially for the first time, I thought like the batter feels off, but actually, I think they changed the formula a little bit, and it's you know, pretty close. It's pretty similar.
Yeah, and it's also one of the things that actually goes back to what you were saying about the whole Finster thing and being perfect on there. Is I think a lot of people get scared of the whole veganism thing of having to commit to fully like everything like that, and it's just like, even if you would just went like, I'm gonna have like vegan alternatives a day a week.
Yeah,
cool. That's something. You know, it's a help to things.
What I find crazy, like every now and then I see videos of people giving random people like vegan, like a vegan burger, and they don't know that it's vegan and they enjoy it, but then you tell them that it's vegan and then they're like, whoa, that's like, you know, I'm eating eggplants and you know, soy, and it's like, well, it just doesn't taste anything. I feel like a lot of it is literally like social stigma and conditional. Like,
yeah, it's my dad is exactly that. Like my dad I'll make something and his first thing is that, oh, it's not vegan, is it? And it's just like and like we make fun of somebody and be like, it's like beans or it's bread, of like,
yeah,
bread is vegan, yes. It's not specific vegan bread, like, but
I
personally
killed an animal so that the bread is not vegan.
Yeah. I put the blood of an animal in this bread. Yeah. Why? Just cause. Currently, I'm veggie vegan, 90% at home. I only make exceptions. Yeah, and that's fair. Like, you know, so I traveled to India. I spent quite a few weeks out in India, and that's an interesting place with like veggie and vegan stuff because they're because a lot of the like religious side of things there, they have a lot of like vegetarianism at the very least because they don't eat like cow and stuff like that. But they do also. But when I came there again and I was vegan, that was a lot harder because like the whole thing, like ghee and paneer and those sort of things were like everywhere. So it was a lot harder to try and find those sort of things. So it's not like, you know, like it's not something that I've always been of the mindset when it comes to that stuff is if you can do something to help, that's fine. I'm never gonna like I don't like the militant thing of people saying that you have to do everything. Just do what you can. Anything you can do to make the world a bit better, do what you can. And I think that goes across the board for most things.
I have issues, you know? Like I try to use like vegan like milk for chocolate milk, but the thing is like if you have something like almond, it just has like a nutty flavor, and for me like it ruins the taste of chocolate milk, and I really struggle with that.
I think oat milk's probably the best.
Oat is better, but
yeah,
like that's a little bit too watery for me. I think Oatly's chocolate milk is really good, but like if you just mix it and like you pour it and you have like some stuff, I don't know, it's weird. Like it changes the flavor profile a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, your country has better options than we do. Yeah. So yeah, you can try things and be like, hey, so I got this amazing vegan stuff. Just saying, not that you can have it because you're in the UK, where apparently because of the rise of the right over here, they've just decided to cut down on everything.
I hate how like the messaging is always like, oh, these vegans want to take away my schnitzel. Like that's what our German right-wing party like always says. Like they are the ones who want to take this stuff away, and it's like, no, we just want like versatility, so people, you know, have like the options.
Yeah,
to choose.
It's one of those things. Like I mean, like somebody said, is vegan being hard? Is it hard to be vegan in the UK? So it never used to be. We used to be amazing. Back in like 2016, 2017, things were really, really good. I legitimately do think it is correlated with the rise in right-wing thinking, because this whole thing has gone now from trying to do what's best for the planet to this whole Britain first, we've got to support our farmers, and this like and also this whole thing of being like manly man and having your steaks and meat and that sort of thing. It all is the similar kind of like mindset that goes hand in hand with right-wing ideology, whereas being compassionate, be that to minorities or to animals, is deemed a more left-wing ideal. So yeah, I do fully believe that the fact that veganism and vegan options have declined over recent years is due to the political shift in the way that a lot of people are thinking, which is unfortunate. It makes things less fun for me, but in multitudes of ways, the right wing ideology rising in the UK makes my life less fun in many ways. But one of which being, I feel food is more limited than it used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh. But yeah, I think
we kind of through with the topics.
I think so. I think we've covered.
This has been fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it has been fun. Yeah, it's been good to properly catch up and go through some of the back lore and stuff. And I think probably the main takeaways people is like, you know, to not judge yourself so harshly, I guess. Like, I think you're always going to be your own worst critic when you see yourself in the mirror, or see like your own reflection, or hear yourself or anything like that. And that sucks, but like it's not like people don't actually care. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're going to get people online who are going to say shit, but they're just people online. They're not,
I feel like,
you know,
people have to realize that Twitter and so on is not real life. It is just right-wing politicians desperately want it to be real life.
Yeah. That is the thing. I mean, I had one thing we didn't step on, and so like more recently, obviously we're doing content stuff. Recently we had a video that hit 30 million views, and that was like comments about my physical appearance in the hundreds of thousands of comments, and that I think was that was a lot, you know. Like, I think it brought to the surface a lot of my own insecurities, because and the thing is even though majority of those comments were either not talking about me whatsoever, or were saying nice things, the only ones that my brain picked up on were the negative ones. And because there's so many of them, because of the sheer amount of comments, it just causes you to spiral. And I think that can happen to a lot of people. It doesn't have to just happen to people who are in the public sphere, you know. It's just, I think when people see comments about other people, and then they start to see those traits in themselves, and they go, oh, if people are saying this about this person, I also have this particular thing as well. And it can cause those kind of like dysphoric things. But end of the day, people online will say things that they would never say in real life, because they don't have that protection of anonymity. And you're also amplified by algorithms trying to cause drama for engagement. So it's not a real reflective thing. And also remember that everybody online looks better than they do in real life, because TikTok filters.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
People who attack other people's insecurities and so on are highly insecure themselves.
Yes.
They attack you for the things that they are insecure about.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and everybody is beautiful in their, like, that's... Like,
except me.
There's not...
Everybody's beautiful except me. Tall women are hot except me.
Yeah. Everybody is beautiful except
everybody deserves love except me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that is the quote of the stream. Full stop. Yeah. Tall.
Everybody
all
is valid.
Everybody deserves rights except me.
Yeah, exactly. I want my rights, like my personal rights, to be taken away in a consensual manner. That's what I want.
I mean, I know that.
Just to end on an unhinged note. But I think
I feel like we've been pretty well. Like, this has been maybe the least lewd / degenerate talk
call
we've had.
yourself
You know what? I feel like it's because it's on your stream and not on mine. Like, when Yara comes onto my stream, she just gets like unhinged.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's also like this is going to be uploaded to YouTube in full, and I want my content to be more appealing to like a broader audience, and like also to not worry about like the 18+ label. So like I am very tame, you know, and I think I need to let like a little bit of. I am still a VTuber. You have to realize that I'm still a VTuber, and I do make these, you know.
You're a VTuber?
No, this is how I actually look like.
An AnimaAo girl? I mean,
I haven't been using my VTuber. I'm a VTuber, but I haven't been using my VTuber. I actually have a different like avatar for my, you know, for me personally. Like, this is how I look. This is like this is me in person.
Yeah, I can confirm she doesn't have a third dimension.
Exactly.
It was really it was weird. It was like really off-putting when I first met her, and I kept like trying to get to the side to see just like the other side of her face, and it was just 2D all the way around.
Yeah.
Like no matter which angle I would look at, 2D. Yeah, it was interesting.
The thing is, like,
yeah,
I can't.
It's been fun.
It's like, you know, Stream Nova, where you walk around in like the paper form. That's me. That's me, but like constantly call yourself beautiful as I redeemed, or it will spray you at every given moment until my tails run out. That's wild. I'm a beautiful bitch. You happy?
Uh-huh.
Zorian Yara, the fleshy model, is the one she commissioned when she needs to be offline.
Yeah,
exactly.
she has a flesh.
You
model,
still sprayed
which is
me.
just, like,
What the fuck?
It's kind of like it's kind of, you know that scene in Men in Black where like the face opens up and there's like a tiny little alien controlling the body. It's that, except it's your VTuber model inside your head. Yeah. One thing, just to anybody who missed it, please do head over to mytransgp.org if you live in the UK or know anybody in the UK who deals with UK-based trans healthcare, and please get them to rate their local GP, because it will be a massive help to the UK trans community to help them find which doctor's surgeries will prescribe medication and which ones are trans supportive and trans friendly. That is one of the big ones that we're trying to help people out with, because it will be a big help to the community, but it needs community to grow.
Also, go follow Lucy, because she needs more followers.
Yeah,
and
I do need more followers. I will. Like, what am I on now? I don't even. It's just been over a year now, actually. What am I on? 730. Cool.
I thought you had 1,000. We need to get Lucy to 1,000.
Can we get to 1,000 followers? Is there? I mean, there's like 130. So mathematically maybe not, but right,
go math. If like you know, everybody tells a friend to.
If everybody tells somebody, a friend. So if you guys just take like a screenshot of me right now, print it out, and then find your closest friend and just like stub the printout in their face, no context. That'll help. You do have to print it out on physical paper though. This doesn't work if it's just a picture on a phone. We do this old school.
Unfollowing and refollowing doesn't help, no. Can we get 1,000 followers with 120 people? Oh my god, it's like a YouTube video. Oh my god.
Hi, I'm Liz May. We're here to try and get 1,000.
I streamed to 2 people for 3 weeks. Can I reach 1,000 followers? I
can confirm I am a nice person. Whoever said that in chat. I am occasionally a nice person. To most people.
Not to me. I guess.
Not to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I feel like
for legal reasons, that's a joke.
Do you know, like, as well?
You make like 6 or 7 new accounts. Oh my god.
On our fucking Twitch Wrapped, we both had each other as our top most views.
Yeah.
And we had like it was like I feel like for somebody I literally just met online and met like this one time in person and then another time in a whole thing. It's
been wild.
You have become like I feel like the friendship I have with you is like none other that I've not met them like in a like real life capacity. This is like but it's good. I like this dumb fops as much as I mock her.
I always come to Lucy if I need help, and Lucy is always messaging me when she's left alone at home and is bored.
I'd like to also point out that when she needs help is 24/7 every day. Like I'll be real. I'll be like working And then I'll just be like, oh, cool, I'm getting a what? Nope, it's Nyar. And then I'll just answer and be like, hey, is everything okay? Be like, Lucy, I'm bored.
Lucy, I haven't talked to you in a while, and I started.
It was literally. Honestly, it was the most adorable thing the other day. She was like, I missed your voice. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I think I don't know. It's just like initially it was like, okay, I'm getting like a DM, like it just became mutuals with this goober online and who talks about like trans stuff, about like a D&D. Like obviously I'm like a little bit scared to like, you know, join like a D&D thingy because like, oh, there's going to be, you know, multiple people and new people and so on. And it's like, but it's for charity, so like, sure, why not? And then like we met on TwitchCon. I don't know why, but like, we just like adopted each other.
Yeah, we just like spent. I think we intended to just be like, it was going to be like a, oh, cool, you're coming to TwitchCon too. And my thoughts with that is, sweet, we'll say hi. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Cool to see you in person. And then that would be it. That was my expectation for that, was it would just be a, hey, how you doing? Hug, sweet, cool, that'd be it. We spent the entire fucking weekend inseparable. Like, not even just
on Twitch, on the venue, but also outside of it.
Out, like literally the after part, like every evening was just like the going back to like the accommodation.
Yeah,
I remember being sat on the balcony or thing, and we were explaining how Harambe was the catalyst for turning
exactly
the wrong timeline.
Exactly,
and
that sounds like some Yuri
and then some random dude on a bike rode past whilst we were saying that and went, Harambe, my boy. Just like, yeah, this guy. This random guy.
Oh my
and then
God.
we got scammed by Uber Eats. And they almost stole £200 from me.
But then they fixed it.
And then they fixed it just before, like, Nyar was like, I'm a fucking post. I'm going
to publicly complain about I did get a DM from them, actually. I did get a DM from them. But it was like filtered out, so I didn't realize it, and also I was pretty high. No, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it was funny. It was a good time. And
it was a good time.
There were a lot of people that I just met, and like we said hi, like Warwick, for example, is like someone who's also a Flash tuber, but he is like they are like VTuber adjacent. And I met them because I know Nessie, she streams with them, and I saw, you know, someone with blue hair, and I think Pethel saw them, and I was like, oh, that's Warwick, let's say hi. And we took like a picture, like a VTuber picture at the VTuber meetup, but that was it. But then
there is actually, let me get a link quick. I just want to also point out we have a hype train at the moment, which is fucking very cool. Thank you for people who are hyping the train. I need to just find this. There's a TikTok from TwitchCon where we did our first like chat together.
I was so tired.
It's hilarious. But see,
and it's just like it's so interesting because like at the start of like the year, like on TwitchCon, I met a few people on TwitchCon, and I got way closer with them over the last year. So I'm like super excited to meet a bunch of people. Warwick is one of them because they're pretty cool and very sweet, and I think like I'm really excited for it just because you put like a face to people you know spend time with online. And
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, you have funny things just like happen where it's just like you're just being adopted. Do I play this now? Do I play this?
Yeah. If you go to it's my I'm on Ash's computer, so she hasn't logged into TikTok and anything. It's which one? That should be the link to it.
I know.
2025 day 1. There are so many amazing artists here. It's super cool. Okay, so we have found the place with the worst lighting in the entire convention.
Lighting is over there.
But we decided that the silhouettes were gonna be better. How tired are you?
It is so crazy to be at a convention for streamers and the lighting everywhere sucked so much. There were places where you could take pictures and the lighting sucked there too.
It was like honestly, like the place with where that first shot was filmed with the forest seat, it was such harsh
so
lighting.
bad.
I was like, who the fuck what, like, I mean the blue seat wasn't too bad. That was at least okay. But like there was like I don't understand who the fuck was their
really
lighting
bad.
manager. Like they had like one job, which was make an event for content creators to create content, right? Like that's the whole fucking point of the event.
Yeah.
And it was wild how bad it was. But yeah, it was honestly like it was such fun. I wasn't quite sure how it would be because it was the first time going to TwitchCon, but I'm so glad and met so many lovely people, obviously with yourself and Alfira Nova as well, and everybody else who I met. Scarlet Zoe, I think, and
yeah, there were a lot of like people that like you met up with like every now and then you went your way. But like with Lucy, it's just like we spent so much time together.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was it was funny. And for a random drunk dude bro.
Oh yeah.
Not meaning to be that guy.
I'm just asking questions. You should be thankful that I'm just asking questions. It's just like, for me, like, do you identify as a cat?
Yeah.
Because for me, that's just man or woman. Like, do you identify as a cat? It's like, you're at TwitchCon, you look at like puppy ears and like you jump to that. Okay.
It's fucking wild. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year, and we'll make many more videos. And I think I think next year will be different because it'll be meeting up with lots of people that we've already got that established things, and then meeting new people as well. So I think it's going to be really fun. I can't wait, and I get to see your dumb face again, which is probably going to be the next time I see it, unless I can kidnap you before then.
Yeah, I think that like I wanna head out. It's been getting late. It's like almost 7 hours of a stream. But I do hope that you enjoyed our Yap session, and I hope that you took something away from it. If you're in the UK, make sure to check out my gp.org. I would greatly appreciate it. The team would greatly appreciate it. Lucy would greatly appreciate it. Go check out Lucy. Follow everywhere.
Your crush would greatly appreciate it as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's how you get that Riz. Is by going on there and rating your local GP.
Exactly.
It's like ultimate Riz. Also by following me. That's like the second best thing you can do. And if you don't like us, then make sure to buy Niara merch and
tell me,
gift it to your local other person who also hates Niara,
Yeah.
and then you can both wear it, ironically.
Exactly.
That's how you own the libs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell people.
Cool.
Show people that you hate me so much by financially supporting me, so I can keep going, and you know, that you can hate me more, because like if I don't exist anymore, like how would you, like, who would you hate? Like, obviously, you have to teach me. You have to teach me a lesson by financially supporting me. Put me in my place.
Absolutely.
By financially dominating me, I guess.
So ending the stream on Findom.
It's not exactly how that is, but like... Oh my god. Getting mixed signals. Yeah, Valo. Cut the stream.
Are we telling...
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Are we telling Lucy about the law between you and my mum, or leaving that for another day?
That's another day. We don't have to unpack everything.
We don't have to unpack everything now.
But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you, Lucy, for joining me, and I hope I will see you all soon.
Are we raiding somebody?
Do you want to end stream as well, or are you going to keep going afterwards?
I don't have a PC, and I think Ash wants her room back, so we're probably going to be
And for the YouTube video, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for checking in. Go subscribe, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.